Blog Talk Radio.
Here we are. Video Lounge. Val, what are you going to make today for Halloween?
Welcome to the Type1 Radio Lounge, back in Brighton. I'm here in the lounge headquarters with the lovely group of people.
In Firecheck's kitchen.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's
The Armenia Cocina.
so obviously I'm Sonic. We have Magic.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi Chick here.
I'm Vic, hello.
And I'm Steve, of course. Hello, everybody. Sorry, Reset will bring you in just 1 second, mate. We're just,
So we're having a bit of a news bump.
A news
today, are we?
bong.
A news bump.
on.
Yeah. Let's bubble at the news bong.
Hang on.
We're drinking at the news bong at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah.
Just wait. Right, no silence, remember what Blue Green said.
Yeah.
Just going to get up.
We were just saying that we felt like it was a bit like Blue Peter here, seeing as I was the only girl and there were two.
Hi, Reset.
Hello there.
There you are. Where have you been?
Haphazard start, that's great. Alright, so I got a couple people I'm going to add to the call here.
Yeah.
Freighter X wanted to come on, so did Freeman and the Swami.
Cool. Bring them all.
Okay, I won't have to talk too much then. They'll have all the good news.
Hello, Freeman. Hello, Swami. Or Freighter X. Are you there yet?
guys.
Well, none of them have answered yet.
It's all Type1.
Right, well, what about Blue Green? Well, this is his day.
And just to let everybody know that Rapid today created a little Twitter account for Type1 Radio.
Is that a good idea?
Well, just to promote the show.
Well, that's, yeah. Just to say we've got one.
Yeah.
Royal Twitch there.
Yeah, we are.
I was thinking about doing a news network sort of thing where when you're on the toilet and call it shitter. Think it would catch on?
I'm sure people
Well,
do.
where people do their best thinking, isn't it?
Hello there, Freighter. Are you with us there, brother?
No.
Freighter, you there?
Well, he's answered the call.
Blue Green, you there? Ah,
Well,
they're all.
they're all here. We've got an Olympic update.
Namaste!
Namaste.
Swami?
Om Namah Shivaya!
Om Namah Shivaya.
Okay, now return to regularly scheduled activity.
Oh, and Blue Green's laughing away in the background too. Hi, you doing, mate?
I get that.
Hey Steve, you good?
How's Glasgow?
It's just starting to dry up. Itsy bitsy spider, the sun's just came out. Been raining for a bit.
It's the same here.
Oh,
Am I
hello,
coming
Freeman.
through loud and clear?
You sure are, Freeman. How you doing, man?
Hey?
Oh, cold. You
Cold.
know what the heck? Here we are, supposed to be in the height of solar cycle 24. I thought we were going to have the worst summer ever, and I've been freezing my butt off.
Yeah.
Well, we did hear at the Eternal Knowledge Festival that there's some guy talking about that we were going back to winter.
That's right, I've
That's
heard
right,
that a few times before.
Oh,
Yeah.
Great. Lovely.
What's our man that said that? The guy who bets on the weather?
Oh,
Michael Fish.
no.
Well, you know, that whole coming global superstorm, that was started with Art Bell. And then they made the movie The Day After Tomorrow about that.
Yeah.
I want to say Piers Brosnan, but it's not Piers Brosnan.
Piers Corbyn.
Piers Corbyn,
Piers
the weather
Corbyn,
guy. Has everyone heard of Piers Corbyn?
Who?
Piers Corbyn.
He watches harp activity and bets on the weather,
Yeah,
basically.
he was betting against the National Weather Service in Great Britain
The
a
Met,
few years
the Met
ago.
office.
who were banging on about global warming and all this kind of thing, and he was using sunspot activity for his predictions, and he was right every time, and he was winning substantial amounts of money to the point that they stopped him from betting on it anymore.
Wow.
If you have just Google in the name Piers Corbyn, and he's got some interesting things up about global warming, etc. And he's fully kind of
possibly, yeah.
He
talks in
Kent
Kent,
so I think he'd definitely be up for coming on the show.
Just on a little personal note, Freeman, did you get our messages about the DVDs?
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. That was fantastic.
And they were.
And they were.
I watched them. Oh, good. I watched them. I'm wondering.
Yeah, very entertaining.
So you should be appearing at the Secret Garden party, and we will be announcing it very loudly. We're praying for it to rain, because then everybody will come into the tent and we're going to bombard them with it. We're going to hit them up with some shit, mate. Thanks to you.
Yeah, Freeman and Tattoo Verb and
Max
Egan and everyone.
They're going to have their minds blown.
We're going to lock the doors if you can do such a thing in a tent.
Well, only their minds will escape as they open.
So we've managed to be cruising around in Miss Emily 8 months now, and I was just looking out the window and I see this big old school bus parked out in the street, and I'm just like, wow, this is so silly. I tell you guys, every time I walk out to that thing, I just giggle.
Funnily enough, I saw an American yellow school bus down here the other day. Have you seen that running around Brighton?
No.
Yeah.
It's not the lemon buses.
It's not the lemon buses, but it's definitely because it's on the wrong side of the steering wheel's on the wrong side. And I thought, my God, Freeman's here already. Yeah. He must be looking for us. I know they live here somewhere, Brighton, right?
That was a great impression.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I've been listening to him for ever since I can remember.
Yeah, you should see him. He really looks like Freeman too.
Yeah. Only really fat and with no beard.
Yeah.
His hair's getting there.
And an unintelligible language.
About 3 foot shorter.
My hair's looking pretty good, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely on the dude face tip of letting my hair grow to see if I can become psychic.
Well, I was like a hairy dude up until 3 weeks ago when I had to go to a wedding, and I was the best man, so I thought I'd better get a bit clean cut.
Yeah, I'm wondering why you look so smart.
Yeah, you look about 12 years old.
Yeah, taking a beard off, a heavy beard, and cutting your hair does do that, yeah.
Yeah. And you're less psychic, I take it.
I don't know.
I knew you were going to say that.
So how come all monks are fools then?
They're not psychic.
Why do they shake their heads?
Have you ever heard of a psychic monk?
I'm not going to tell you if they are they?
Well, you know, we yogis have long hair and full beards, quite
Thank you,
often.
Swami, I know, yeah.
Well, it's usually just because we can't afford razors. But, you know.
Is it? I thought you had to do it. It was a part of the job. You don't get
It's recommended, but it's not always followed. You know, there is at a certain level that whole hair being a antenna type system for stuff. There is reality to that, but then when you move up beyond that, there's no concern about that at all.
Yeah, I think in the monk's respect, you do it as to get rid of all attachments, or like your hair is like a type of attachment.
Right.
Well, yeah, they're pretty much trying to get rid of individuation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have to get rid of your face as
Same
well.
as the army there. Well, no, you've got different face, haven't you?
I know, but you can be your face
attached.
can be.
Well, that's
Well,
why.
I suppose maybe no.
It
Do
is
it like
always
you can
attached.
do your hair in different styles and that.
Well, that's
can
why
kind
they
of
have to
present you
cut your hair in the military, isn't it? So that you're all just the same. So you're all just
Yeah.
a piece of
Standardised.
meat. Just, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So.
Hey, Jay, are you there?
Hey, I haven't heard from Frater yet.
Yeah,
I feel
sure.
lonely. I know he's here somewhere.
I'm sure you laughed a minute ago.
Oh, he'll chime in.
Yeah,
when
he's probably busy getting his
He's
show.
shy today.
Never mind, we've got Freeman. Let's talk to Freeman.
How are you?
So, Freeman, you say, how long on the road? 8 months?
8 months, yeah.
8 months, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been pretty amazing. You know, we've been staying in everyone's homes, just, you know, probably 20 different homes by now, if not more.
It's probably more.
And does it feel like the old days when you used to just go off in your little old car and drive around, except now you've got a great big lumbering bus to deal with?
Well, there's a lot of differences now because back then I had to go out and make friends in order to find a place to hang out.
Yeah.
And now I just have them waiting everywhere. It's insane. I mean, seriously, you know, we've been given homes, houses. People say, here's my house, here's my car. I'm off, you know, to do whatever I do. And, you know, and this is something that I was hoping to express to everyone out there in the world, and we really haven't formulated our story well enough to tell it. Like, we're trying to do the editing of the show and try and make it into a show at the same time as living it is like, well, crazy. And so, you know, so you're getting these little clips on the Miss Emily channel. You're getting to see the weirdness and all the craziness. I mean, you know, we found the Ark of the Covenant. We've seen Jesus crucified. You know, and all that. But you're not really getting the. Well, then you also get to meet all the people that we've stayed with. So I'm telling you, all of these people we're meeting are your friends. And we are collecting them all. Of course, we tell them all join Friendship Agenda immediately. So everyone that I've had join Friendship Agenda has actually been like hand selected, and the thing is, they're all amazing. They're all out there doing. I mean, right now we're staying with Chris Gordon, who is and his roommate Kevin. And Chris Gordon just put out a great DVD, or I'm sorry, a great video for Alex Jones's video contest. And Alex, of course, bumped him out of the top 20. I can't believe that because he's really good. He's the one who made the Katy Perry video, and he's like, come on, let's make this big, you know. So we did, right? And so Chris...
I thought that was quite funny. A little spiraling around with lots of...
Yeah.
I tried to watch the Katy Perry video, but it said it had been removed because of content.
Copyright.
Yeah, it was blocked worldwide.
Again, right.
It was, and then I put it up on my own server, and I hosted it through Freeman TV, and you could download it, watch it there, and they blocked it from my own server. I didn't even know they could do that. And then, but it's still up on Vimeo, so it's embedded into FreemanTV.com right now. You know, it's 5 minutes. It's pretty hilarious. And well, the thing is everyone that goes and wins Alex Jones's big contest and gets the 10 grand that he has to hand out, they come to us after that. They're like, well, I just wanted to go to Alex for the money, but I want to be involved in Type 1. I want to be involved in the Friendship Agenda. You know, Phil Lobo, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, okay, I got AJ's 10 grand. Now, Freeman, what do you want to do with it?
Surprised he never spent it on weed, though.
And the same thing with Chris Gordon. Now, he just was in, but he just put out a new series called Real Monsters, and he was working on the zombie episode. And lo and behold, if it didn't friggin' come to life, right?
Yeah,
like 5 zombie attacks. And he was already making the film. And so he had to actually update his episode to catch up with what was actually occurring. And so I've got him in the Type 1 artist section now. And so it's been like that. We've been going from place to place. I've been hanging out with a guy who worked on the International Space Station and built PBS, right? He was the guy Michael Eisner, Disney, went to build the radio stations for the world. And he wants to be Type 1. He wants to be involved with us. And so this is what I'm doing right now. I'm out here in this friggin' school bus. I'm going around, and I'm seeing all this crazy madness. But in between, everyone we meet, we met the screenwriter of Glory Road and, what was the other one she did? The Hurricane. And she's actually written 50 movies. And she wants on board. We got actors from, you know, it's just been building, guys, and this is going to be something huge. I don't know what Type 1 is yet, right, because it's forming itself. But I'm telling you, people from the ISS want to be involved. People that the CIA go to get their drones to work right want to work with us. And that's what I'm really excited about. And that's what's really going on behind the scenes. What's that?
You want to be stone drones.
They want to teach the drones how to go and score a bag of weed instead of killing people.
Well, all right. Well, maybe I don't listen to enough Bong news. I'm talking about Type 1, and I'm talking about all of us as a collective making a network that is actually reaching the mainstream. You know, the one thing the Brotherhood truly fears is that we actually make it out into this real world scenario. And we're setting up a popularity contest that's going to blow it away. I mean, we've already got a conspiracy talk soup. We got Chris working on. We've got all these different shows, and we've got 2 cable networks to go out through. So this could be really huge.
Excellent.
Yeah. Well, the people that we were at the festival with last week, World Shift, they've got their own Sky channel as well.
Yeah,
so.
Will Freeman's been on Edge Media.
Yeah, that's not the same channel.
That's not the same one, all right, okay.
Yeah, that's in Edge Media, and then the next one's Paradigm Shift.
Paradigm Shift, yeah. That's pretty crap. That's like public access at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
well, they were doing porn, and when I went on Edge Media, the other studios in the warehouse were porn. I had no idea, right? I had no idea. I was sitting there with Theo, and I'm just chatting away, and my friends are back there snickering, and I had no idea.
Wow. Well, I'll be damned.
It was in MK, you know, Milton Keynes, where they have the statues from...
where they've got concrete cows in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did have when they first created MK.
No, they still have, yeah.
And they got the eyes wide shut statues.
Exactly. And they've got stone trees and all that, which...
The train didn't even stop. When we got to MK, it was like, okay, all departing for Milton Keynes, and the door didn't never open. We're sitting there pushing the button, and the train stopped for like a millisecond. Like, no one gets out at MK, right? And they ran us all the way back to London again. We had to turn around and race back. That's why they didn't have the graphics right in the show and stuff, because we lost like 2 hours because the train didn't stop at MK.
It sounds like you need a reality TV show crew to follow you around Freeman to kind of really get the feel. Yeah, read the
Yeah. Well, believe it or not, when we left, we didn't even have a camera or a computer. So for the first month or so, until Lobo gave us the flip, we didn't even have any way to broadcast.
Yeah.
Right, well...
Yeah, well,
so,
be one of these
I
filmmakers.
to be able to afford the things I needed to do the show.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should put a chip in to get yourself a satellite that you can stick on the top, and then you've got access to where you can just create your own network, just satellite from where.
We're really close to figuring that all out. I have a brand new podcast up now too, so that's all like. That's tight and it's networked. If you go to freemantv.com, subscribe to the podcast, you're going to get everything I've done and more. And that's where I'm going to start laying the new foundation. And, you can do video, audio, all of that, and it's just straight to... So I'm working all that. That's what I do when I'm, my everyone around me says, Freeman, you're a friggin' workaholic. Because I get up at 9, I open my computer, and at 10, I'm like, damn, it's 10? 10 p.m., 9, 8, 11 hours. That's my life, really, is building FreemanTV.com, trying to figure out the ways and get us out into the world, The Internet's just a small little portion. We got to get out.
Yeah. So do you think that the podcasting will take more precedence over your show?
Oracle.
Yeah.
I really want to get away from the free zone. There's so much stuff going on. I'm hearing all these people and the bashing, and I don't even want to be affiliated with that at all. And I see, all this stuff. I don't listen to Oracle. I never have. I'm sorry, but I don't even know what other shows are and what they're about or anything like that.
Yeah. I think it's only you and Bob Christian that I've listened to.
No, Dennis Fetcho's good, and Kyle Hunt got his views.
You love the Kyle.
Yeah, I admire his stand on things. He's quite direct, isn't he?
Quite direct.
I I don't agree with everything he says, but the way he puts it is good.
You agree with his...
I agree with it as well. It needs to be said sometimes, doesn't it? Because everybody who owns media outlets are what he says they are, and they're putting them in control. Yeah, freedom of speech for sure.
One more big piece of news. I'm going to be on HBO Monday.
HBO?
Yeah.
What are you doing on there?
I am in a documentary about a transvestite that got famous for screaming, "Leave Britney alone!"
Leave the zoo.
Leave who alone?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Me is it? All right.
So, yeah. They have a clip of Anna Nicole, Britney, and Mind Control in there. And right now I'm getting an extra 1,000 hits a day, and I don't know why. And I think it might be maybe they had a little premiere of it on HBO, or I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I'm getting an extra 1,000 hits a day.
Wow.
Wow.
So I wonder, what's going to happen Monday.
Did I hear that your YouTube site's been tampered with?
Oh man, they took away my ability to upload hours. Right. And then they're censoring everything I do. Like that Katy Perry video, I mean, everybody's got it up there with the lyrics. And some people have it up there with pieces of the video. And I don't know why mine was denied worldwide.
Because you're telling it as it is, mate.
Yeah, Then they denied it on my own server. How does that happen? Yeah. So, the YouTube I'm just pissed at. So I'm actually trying to find a new method to embed things into my website, not using YouTube. And I found a way. I just now have to find a host to host all that gigabytes.
Yeah. Right. I thought it was really quite just creepy and odd where I don't know where you must have actually got it from YouTube or something. The little girl like singing the lyrics.
Yeah, that really strikes home, doesn't it?
Yeah, the girl, she's like, and she's
Which song is it then? Which song they do?
Anybody that's got a daughter that calls
the alien.
Oh, the alien one. That's right. Want to be a victim.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah. No, that is a disturbing.
And her parents probably thought it was just the cutest thing, right?
Yeah. I can remember years ago, actually, as well, seeing a program. I can't remember what the program was about or anything, but I just remember seeing these images of very small children.
Tiny tots.
No. It was in India. These were the kids. I think it was in India or South America somewhere. And these little children were dressed up like Madonna in her early days, and they were dancing to something like Holiday, and they were doing all the moves, really, going into the moves. And they were tiny little kids. They were maybe between the ages of 5 and 10 years old, just little girls dressing up all sexy and doing big sexy moves. And I just thought, this is so wrong. And there was all these guys around watching. There was no women there. It was just all men watching. And I just thought that's even more wrong. And maybe they were all just thinking, aren't they just the cutest little things? But I just think
our planet is run by pedophiles. Let's just put it in the open. That's who runs things.
That's what Kyle Hunt says.
Who runs this town?
Hey, Freeman, have you heard the latest Gaga news about her getting together with this guy the guy that done Bodyworks, the forensic scientist that turned artist?
Dr. Death.
Dr. Death, yeah, and she's planning to have these corpses on stage, in sexual positions and stuff. It's like
really
real corpses.
Real corpses, yeah.
Real dead people.
Yeah.
Having sex.
Well, Lady Gaga's a great artist, isn't she?
Well, the president, Barack Obama himself, for her.
Say that again, Freeman, sorry?
I said Barack Obama himself opened for Lady Gaga.
No. I bet he did.
Yeah, you can see that in my weird stuff file on freemantv.com.
That's weird though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Y'all got to take a look at a facial picture side by side of Lady Gaga and that Versace woman that looks like she's made of leather.
Oh, yeah.
Donatella, yeah.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say Paul Stanley from Kiss.
I thought you were going to say Alice Cooper.
I thought you were going to say Marilyn Manson.
Donatella Versace.
But you know...
I'll bet you a nickel that's her mom and her daddy's a reptilian group. Ritual, all that stuff. It's real, folks!
Well, she did grow up in like a hotel or a building in New York, and there's a Masonic lodge on every floor. Is that right?
How much more do you need?
Yeah, I was going to say, poor girl. She
said in Rolling Stone magazine that she was having this dream of a small little girl being tied down on a table with her wrist being slit, and she's pouring honey in the wounds. Oh. And her mom says, "Oh, that sounds like an Illuminati ritual." That's in Rolling Stone magazine.
I was at the other night. I mean, are they taking the piss when they say things like that, when people read it? Because it just sounds so...
Well, I heard that.
I don't know.
I heard
They're so bold and the public is so asleep, they can just say this stuff and nobody cares.
I know. When Barack Obama was saying, "I don't want you practicing any more of that voodoo in my White House," to his mother-in-law.
Yeah.
He was serious.
What are you going to do when your mother-in-law practices voodoo and all that?
Like your mother, man. You don't want the chicken.
Looking for this all
Don't slit it and drip the blood over the kids, for God's sake.
Keep the zombies out of the kitchen.
All right. We just went to Hearst Castle. You know, the guy who made the Bud.
I've been there, yeah.
Yeah,
Randolph Hearst.
And
Did you go up all the stairs?
Well, no, they wanted $75 to look at that mansion.
Yeah.
A piece. No, but we did get to see some, and so there's this big Satan fireplace. I mean, I got pictures. I'll have them up soon, but just like this massive Satan as their fireplace, and then this weird crucified Jesus. But over the dining table that they took from a monk's hall, there's a mural and all this in the ceiling, and right above the dining table is a child sacrifice scene going on. I mean, I'm sure it's biblical, but there they are, sacrificing a child over the dinner table. You can see this. I'll have those pictures up really soon.
Bon appetit, eh?
Yeah.
That was what was for dinner, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, there were about...
Yeah, and that's Hearst Castle. So it's like, come on. How much do you
Well,
need?
here's a little something I caught on TV here recently. I don't watch it very much, but somehow I caught a commercial for a program on country music television where some rednecks load up and go to England and stay in some posh place, and the guy is sitting there in the room looking around going something to the effect of, "I'm not comfortable with all these pictures of naked kids on the wall." But I mean, seriously, they've been doing this for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
You know? And now here we get Billy, Bobby, Joe, Red, whatever, sitting there going, "Hey, naked kids?" Even he figures it out.
Yeah.
That's not art. That's indication of a problem.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's bizarre. Yeah, it's everywhere, isn't it?
Mm.
But I went to Hearst Castle. Gosh, I was quite young when I went there, and I was a kid. But why is it echoing?
I think it was made to rec.
Okay, but and so I really didn't see an awful lot of what I would see now if I went and looked there. Yeah. But I remember that there were about 5 or 6 swimming pools in the whole place, and they had these huge outdoor pools with Roman colosseums around the edge of them, and one swimming pool that actually came inside, and I think on the bottom of it there was like a Roman what's it called, a mosaic of, I don't know, Isis or someone like this on the bottom of the swimming pool. Yeah, and all visual stuff.
Right. Trying to remember that. I saw that. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
That's bizarre, isn't it? I really wanted to jump into that pool and see what would they do? They'd just have to fish you out, but I didn't.
Yeah, a little scared of what has gone on in that pool.
Yeah, I know. When I began to hear about Randolph Hearst and everything he was involved in, Chaplin and the Nazis and all this, and it was quite bizarre, actually.
Marijuana Act.
Yeah.
The marijuana
Hearst Project.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
here's this guy with just I mean, it's in an absolutely beautiful location as well, isn't it? It's right up on the top of the hills and looks out California, over the valleys and everything. It's just absolutely beautiful, and it was just the most beautiful sunny day that I went there as well. And the air up there as well, it was quite still and calm, and it was really beautiful. But yeah, there's something kind of otherworldly about the place. Yeah, it's very bizarre.
Yeah, you reminded me driving Miss Emily up the Pacific Coast Highway. It was epic, and I'll never do it again. It was so beautiful and so much work. Driving a school bus is insane.
Yeah, we saw you going down those windy. I mean, it was Miss Emily uploads from about 3 or 4 months ago, and you're going down like a mountain path.
Yeah, North Carolina.
There's a shooting range, and it was like, wow.
I mean, like the PCH was like this slow torture where it was beautiful and you loved it, but God, if it doesn't end soon,
Have you got muscles like? I don't know, footballs.
Definitely new strength.
Driving that thing, man.
Yeah, trying to get to the corner.
We went to the Rosicrucian Museum day before yesterday, and the whole thing's in veneration of Akhenaten.
Really?
That's in San Jose. Is that where you went?
Yeah, that Henrik and Michael Starian went to.
It's the AMORC one, right?
Right.
The big Egyptian one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I just happened to buy a Rosicrucian book right before that, and I was talking to Mark Passio, and he's like, "Oh, here's the PDF," you know. I thought I had something cool. Yeah. But yeah, he's got a great art.
He's got that terabit drive. You can't compete with his database.
I'm reading a book called Genesis at the moment about
Blue-Green Day.
Blue-Green Game. It's fantastic.
So what do you come from the AMORC museum or library with? What's your analysis, your commentary, Freeman?
Well, they certainly weren't trying to invite us in. No one really gave us any attention or the time of day, so we didn't get to ask anybody anything about anything. And I don't know. I thought that they would kind of like even have a gift shop. They didn't even have a gift shop, but it was just kind of like, here, wander around, look at our Akhenaten stuff, and then leave.
Well, that particular branch of Rosicrucianism is it's a very commercialized branch. I mean, I looked at that, I was actually, I considered joining their correspondence course that they have of the occult studies.
Yeah,
and
$2,500, and you can be a friend of Ra.
Yeah.
I can afford a friend of Beth.
Yeah, right. I don't know. It was outrageous. I thought the price. And then, of course, the Masonic Rosicrucian order that I belong to, it doesn't recognize that order. If you belong to that order, you can't belong to the Masonic Rosicrucian.
They don't like them up, do they?
No, they don't. They think they're like this spurious, renegade little...
Like the sharks and the jet.
Yeah, right. Let's get some fingers.
Frater, when you were a youngin', I remember when I was a youngin', there would sometimes be like ads in the back of comic books and such where for Rosicrucian.
That's the same one. That's the same one. Remember, they used to say that Ben Franklin was one, and it was like, that was the same one, AMORC.
What, in comic books?
Correspondence, and back to comic books.
Yeah,
Heavy
I remember.
Metal magazine, Creepy magazine, all the awesome vintage pulp, precious pulp from the 70s, 60s. Great stuff.
Wow. Hey, we've got a caller on the line from area code 480.
Not John Pistachio.
Hello.
Okay.
You know them?
Hello, people.
Hey.
Would you like to learn how to shapeshift?
Oh. Three Energy J?
It's very easy. Really.
Technical interference.
Captain Diode.
No, he's been on the line the whole time. Nearly.
Yeah, but he ain't talking about shapeshifting. NSA is tuning in right now as we speak.
They've been waiting. Well, it's been simple. I learned it when I was 22 years of age, so it's been quite a while. Basically, all it is I call it a psycholuminescence. What you're doing, you're projecting energy out your eyes into your auric field, and it seems to create an image which other people see.
Okay.
The easiest way to develop it is to do it right in front of the mirror. Now, what the advantages of it is if a couple of you sit in a dark room and start doing it, what happens is you actually see other people's, the way they looked in past lives.
Is that before or after you've taken that type of acid? I've definitely had that happen.
Sounds like
We're mostly energy and not physical, really. And there's a lot that you don't see, but it's there. All it is we project that energy naturally off a template, and that's what gives us our image in the first place. So if you change templates and project the energy out, it has a tendency to through the original template temporarily.
But isn't it that we project, if this is right and this is an image that's projecting, then that's the image that we're meant to project, and that's the image that we, almost like, this is the body that you're meant to live in this life, and this is what you're going to look like. And so when you go to sleep, you don't actually have so much control over these things, but you still look like who you look like, and you don't disappear when you go to sleep. You're still there.
Well, sometimes you change what you look like when you're on the astral realm, but you change right now unknowingly. When you're high energy and vibrant feelings, you actually attract people, and they feel that you look more beautiful for some reason, and they can't put their head on it. You're actually doing a psychic projection. You do it unconsciously all the time. You can enhance it by intentionally
Nick does that all
your
the time. He's just beautiful all the time, aren't you, Nick?
Yeah, I'm projecting.
And Blue Green, you do that a lot too, don't you?
I'm trying to get the one I'm living in looking a bit less squinty.
That's a tough job, though.
If two identical twins, one will seem more prettier than the other, and it's not to do with their DNA. It's the deal that one projects more energy and has a tendency to create an aura of beauty around her.
Well, wait a second. Hold on now. Isn't the DNA the source of the energy projected, or the device, or the tool of the part of the effect of the energy projected?
Well, actually, you have a signature energy or a soul energy.
Is the energy coming out of us? Is it emanating forth, or is it reflecting from us, from the universe?
We create our reality. It emanates, the entire world, your world emanates from inside yourself and is projected outwards. That's why they say everything outside is an illusion.
If you read some of David Ash's book, who was the Queen loving dude.
We're not advocating him.
What's going on? Loretta's going to blow a gasket.
I'm the only one here that met the guy, and he was lovely.
I actually enjoyed what he was saying early on.
Well, he's talking about the vortex, and we're sort of like from his perspective, we're the observation point of the vortex. So
well, that's what Freighter's saying, though, isn't it?
Yeah. So nothing's actually here, but we're just the observation point.
And actually, we're not actually affecting our space, because we are real and we are ourselves. But what we do is we affect the space of other people. So we give a perception that other people.
Either.
And so that's
I'm not real, because I'm the unreal perception of the world that you're projecting around
You're just someone else's dream.
I am real, but you are all I am able to...
That's your universe. That's your universe you're talking about there, mate.
What's your take on that, Freya?
I'm real.
Well, I always knew it. I knew it was true that I was living somebody else's dream. They're like, how you doing? Well, living the dream. It just happened to be somebody else's, not mine,
Right. Recently just read Valis.
Valis, wonderful book.
And that is that in a nutshell.
Fast, active, living information system.
yeah. That was like, it started off as the worst book I was ever reading, and then it suddenly just turned into this thing that was just everything.
Have you read, like, The Divine Invasion?
No, that's the first one, mate. That's the first time I've read Philip K. Dick was that.
Right. Well, I've got all of them.
So I've got a few more to go. I take it.
I want to get that new, the one they just released, the Exegesis, the big volume from his 10,000-page opus that he left in a big stack in his little con app when he died, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, and, I just actually got a collection of K. Dick.
Oh, be quiet, Freeman.
Did you get them for free?
Hey, people over here
Oh,
who read Philip K. Dick a lot are called dickheads.
Yeah.
Local gave you the flip
proud
cap,
of it,
so I know.
Well, what made me think of that is I saw that one you're talking about. I didn't get that one.
Oh, yeah, I saw a copy back in Portland, Oregon, back in 2000, in a used bookstore called I think it was a branch of Powell's, the big, huge bookstore there, and it was an awesome special edition, like $80 book. I couldn't buy it. We were so poor. I had 2 little kids. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't spend $80 on a book when I got to pay for the needs of the household. You know, and so I let it go by, and I thought I'll never see that again. But then they just re-released a new one. I borrowed it from the library last month, so I just got to get a copy of that when I get extra money. But it's an excellent read. His work, his very Gnostic, early, cutting edge, pioneering, synchro mystic, as we like to say.
Totally synchro mystic. Well, even when they get the information from somebody spots it in a film, and they all go and watch the movie that those people, the rock star and the other guy make, and everything's just synchronistic.
Yeah, it's based on Eric Clapton, supposedly.
And when was that written? In the 70s?
Yeah. Post right at the time of Nixon, because Freeman, I think his name's Freeman, right? Freeman Fairmont. Yeah. He's the president. He's supposed to be based on Nixon, but the thing is that Philip, when I said synchro, I didn't say synchronistic with an N. I said synchromistic, like Mary with an M. And because he really, in my mind, when I first started reading him, he really woke up that pop culture alchemy or inner alchemy that we do, like when we look at the telecommunication and the media around us, and the marketing through trends and fashion and music and movies and all of it. You bring it woven in. I mean, whenever you read a Philip K. Dick book, he's talking about fashion of clothing, material, like different cultural iconography, like the dendrites that they buy in THX 1138, the meaningless little items. I mean, there's so many little side sub details that are really a part of our consciousness now. And if you move forward with it into the virtual reality and the idea, what do we keep hearing in the really cutting edge truth movement radio podcast right now? We're hearing about government experiments to try to do what? Oh yeah, penetrate different dimensions and transmit soul consciousness into different dimensions. That sounds a lot like Philip K. Dick to me.
Yeah, maybe we'll just need a Philip K. Dick novel.
Yeah, we're all living one, right? Like Man in the High Castle,
Yeah.
Nazis did, in fact, not lose World War II, it seems, right?
No. Well, Farrell told us
No, they just quit fighting.
Yeah.
Half of them went to Russia and went to work.
They just changed weaponry.
They just changed their technique.
They changed weaponry. They just fight us with silent weapons now. Instead of
they're using
to
fight ourselves.
All that, though, put together with what Freeman has been talking about, and we've all been talking about all along, we got to become the breakaway society, which we're doing. We're becoming we choose to consciously become the breakaway society. Forget about them breaking away.
When people see how much fun we're having.
Clifford, I love that guy. He's saying the same thing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Dean Clifford.
Fight Chick, what were you just saying?
I was just saying, when people see how much fun we're having for the breakaway society, they won't want to be part of that crowd.
And it has to begin, in consciousness, ideologically, we make the shift in paradigm, as we talk about, moving towards, like what we just said, Dean Clifford, man, that guy is my new hero, guys.
He's great.
He's awesome. I mean, he's on fire with it. I mean, he's got it clear. I want to just, consult him on my own personal conflicts in life. I've got Verizon threatening to take me to court because I shut down my office and turned off my internet service there after a year with no late payments or anything. And they said, "Oh, you got to pay us now for the 2 years you're not. We've got you down for a 3-year contract. We want some for every month that you're not giving us. We want some money." And I said, what? I said, I never agreed to that. Show me somewhere I signed that said that I agreed to that, or even show me a audio clip with the salesman who explained that to me. It never happened, you know, so I'm not paying anything.
It's just your legal fictional entity anyway. It's not you.
Yeah.
Exactly. They sent me an email saying that they wanted to let me know that, you know, that I can now pursue it in small claims court in my local area. You know, and they'll demand me to go to court. If I don't go to court, they'll friggin' take out a bench warrant on me for failure to appear.
Well,
now it's becoming a civil offense.
Before they do that, mate, I'd get in first and send them notice to get them to prove. Because if
the 21-day notice. I know. Yeah, I got to do that, right?
Yeah. If you go to court with that, then it'll just get dismissed straight away.
Yeah, you've already got them beat once you get that.
So I just got to say to him, please produce the evidence where you claim that I owe you anything at all.
Yes.
Well, just so you conditionally accept
What's that? I missed that last thing you said.
You conditionally
accept their offer upon proof of claim.
Why are we feeding blood?
Okay, I understand what you're saying. So you're kind of, it's a setup. You're saying I'll agree to it as long as you show me where the proof of the claim.
Because you know it never happened, and they can't produce it. So therefore, be very cool, very friendly, and like, hey, let's do business. And they can't do it, so the judge has to go, nope.
Okay, I'm gonna write that.
One of the guys that John Wutterick, who we had on the show last week, that the guy he works with called Salon, has come up with a really great solution by copywriting your strawman name.
Wicked, yeah.
So then you send them notice, or put it out in the paper, and then if they send you letters, you say, right, well, I'm going to have to bill you. You've used that name twice, so you owe me now like 25 grand. Do you want to continue with this, or should we go to court?
Oh, sure, just let it, yeah.
No, wait a second. Back up.
You have to copyright
How did you begin this? How did you begin this process?
Sorry, Fred, I'll say that again.
How did you begin the process you just described to where you get to that point? How did this start?
You copyright your name.
You copyright your trademark.
Your straw man name, your legal fiction name.
Yeah, like Mr. Fritter X.
So how do you propose to copyright? Just a poor man's copyright? Like just put a thing? I mean, because I've copyrighted all the intellectual property ideas.
Go on. Get out of debtfree.org. And there's all the steps that you need to take. They've even got these things that you just take the template out, stick your details into it, and then you just print it out onto a letter or an envelope.
Yeah, you send it to yourself.
Yeah, with a stamp, I think it is, and then
you send it to yourself, and you don't open the
registered envelopes.
Yeah, I've actually done that, guys, with all the ideas of all the books and everything we've talked about that I've brought up as ideas to the books I'm going to write with Sync Book, and even a couple of movie script ideas I've talked about with Lobo. I did a poor man's copyright where I took the ideas, I wrote them out in a letter to whom it may concern. I described every idea, the format the idea was going to be under, claimed it as my intellectual property. I went to a notary public and had them stamp it, sign it, seal it with the time and the date, and then I went to the post office and I registered it, mailed it back to myself, and had them seal it with their friggin' postal seal and everything. So
with their blood.
That's the way.
Yeah, it's about the best I can do for not paying. I paid $11 for each copy of that, each one of those letters. So it was like I did 3 of them, 33.
You'll know if they're coming after you because Google, if you Google Freighter X and then where it adds stuff in, it just randomly throws in pedophile or something like that.
Oh God!
And they can do that shit.
Well. That of course they can do anything they want in that sort of.
I heard a story just recently of a guy that happened to.
Oh, really?
And it hurt him bad. He's trying to find work, and somehow Google's I don't recall what you call it, but where it fills in searches for you, it came up with just bad stuff by this guy's name and screwed him over.
Let's not give anybody any ideas. Somebody might start.
Oh, they thought of it long before we talked about it.
Yeah.
No, I mean anybody listening now, like, hey, let's do that to Swami and Freighter X.
Oh, they can come after me all they like. I wipe my ass with archons and astral.
TMI.
I don't give a damn. They can come after me all they like.
Om Namah Shivaya.
There's a next rad station out north of St. Louis, and if you follow Dutch Stince's stuff, you know about scalar squares and harp stuff. Yep. There is a beam that comes directly out of there and comes right to my ashram. I've seen it a number of times.
That's why I surround myself with organite.
They use all sorts of things again. Let them do what they can. They're weak. They're only powerful if we believe their lies.
Yeah.
And the here already.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if this body drops due to their nonsense, I couldn't care less. Yeah. I'm out saying what I know to be true, and I'm helping people go within themselves and find the truth.
And when your spirit knows that it's true, there's nothing that can touch that. They can't. What can they do? You die, your spirit is eligible away.
They can be an annoyance. Yeah. I mean, we see this in the technical interference that we get on Type 1 all the time.
Yeah.
It's happening to other people, too. You know? This stuff goes so deep and so crazy, you know, that your average Alex Jones people can't even entertain these items.
Talking about craziness and other things that you've been saying on different shows, you know the Olympic mascots. You were saying that
if they show up, there's much trouble.
Yeah. Well, we were driving past a shop and it had them two together, and I don't know whether it was the distance that it was from. But the two together looked like a face.
Looked like one, because it's two eyes. That was kind of...
And it almost had like it, one of its hands over here was its ear, and the other hand over there was his ear. It was really weird, the perspective that I had on it.
Funnily enough, when those designs were announced, there was a lot. The guy who graphically designed them was on the radio here, sort of thing, and he actually said that it's a coming together of two things to make one. And he actually said that on...
No.
Yeah.
But can I just read a piece here as well, which I wrote down?
This is the Bong news.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Bong news.
Hang on. Do we need the music?
Oh, yeah.
Let's have the music.
For all our American friends... What you need is a Bong water piece right there. That would go real well.
Listen, for all our American friends, this is what the news at 10 in the UK used to sound like in the 70s.
In royal news this evening.
Hey Freya, that's the Big Ben stand.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, that was the alternative ending. The director's cut.
Well, the first black newsreader in Britain used to come on after that movie, didn't he?
Yeah.
This is Jeremy McDonald.
Yeah.
Now
we're going to get stolen, man.
Yeah.
He never said that, but we wish he did.
But talking about the Olympics, as part of my effort to kind of link something into the news thing, I started looking into this stuff about, because in England we have the opening ceremony of the Olympics coming up soon, and they announced what they were going to be doing for the opening ceremony. I think you spoke about this briefly last week.
I mentioned it briefly.
Yeah, and how they're using what's the name of the guy?
William Blake.
No.
Danny Boyle.
Danny
Boyle.
Who did Slumdog Millionaire.
and train spotting, and shallow graves.
He's designing and making the whole.
He's the artistic director of the opening ceremony.
There we go. And of course, just off the top of his head, from some kind of, he sat down in a chair one evening with a good cigar and a glass of wine, and he thought, now what would be a good inspiration for the opening ceremony? I know, I'll use that William Blake poem. Jerusalem. Yes. That's it.
Zion.
There you go. Well, I'm not saying that looks like Zion.
That was one. Yeah. Why not? Why not?
You know what? I was listening to the internet the other day, and this bloke called Rick Clay was saying that he thinks we're going to use this poem called Jerusalem in some way, so why don't I? So yeah, it's all quite bizarre, the reasons why he would. Rick Clay predicted.
Whoa. Have you not heard that?
8
years ago he said.
On Red Ice with
William Blake is an 18th century esotericist and wrote the poem Jerusalem.
Yeah. And Rick Clay was saying that he felt in some way that this was going to be linked into the Olympics, this whole Jerusalem.
We're going to build Jerusalem in England's Green Club.
As a result of that, I thought as part of the Bong News at 10 thing, I'd have a little look into the William Blake poem. And this is what I came up with as, this was his inspiration for writing that poem, Jerusalem. And it's based on the stories of a young Jesus accompanied by his uncle Joseph Arimathea, a tin merchant. They travelled to the area that is now England and visited Glastonbury during Jesus' lost years. And as part of the opening ceremony, they've actually got Glastonbury tour.
Yeah, that's where he planted his staff, isn't it?
Yeah. So the legend is linked to an idea in the book of Revelations describing a second coming wherein Jesus establishes a new Jerusalem.
William!
Oh no!
Now wait a second. So now you have a few connections too, because then you can talk about Bacon's New Jerusalem view of the New World and the English colonizing America, and then maybe establishing that New Jerusalem, even further.
Yeah.
Well,
and also. What was the other thing I was going to say about it? There's something else there too that's very remarkable. I've actually heard this too. All this. Somebody else was talking about this.
It's quite interesting if you go back to Rick Clay's work, because he was talking about how there's a soap over here that's on like 2 times, 3 times a week that people see every night. 5 times a week. Is it every night? Almost every night. And the opening sequence is like the River Thames, and you got the Dome and the London Eye, and then you got the Benbin Stone, Big Ben, and it's that oval, and it's kind of serpentine, the river,
I guess,
the oval and the phallus, and what Freeman goes on about. So he was talking about this, and that was how long ago?
8 years.
8 years ago. And now, yesterday, I looked in our paper, The Sun, and it had an overhead view of what the actual arena looks like, and it's a big circle, and they got the Thames, or the Serpent, winding through the middle of it, and they're saying, oh, this is EastEnders, it's the opening sequence to EastEnders. And so this is something that has been put into people's minds every night when they're sort of winding down and having their dinner or whatever, eating their tea, watching this subconsciously over the last 8 years, this image, and now this is encapsulated in the whole arena. And not only that, they have on one side of the arena they have this mound like Golgotha, the place of the skull, there's alchemical kind of references there, and then they have a tree, this huge tree, the tree of life. It's crazy. So you got the serpent.
The question is, are you suggesting that they're invoking or evoking Christian iconography or ancient pagan iconography that was
well, it's alchemical.
Presupposes what'd you say? It's alchemical?
Yeah, it's definitely alchemical iconography, but yeah.
They're definitely planning something.
Isn't there some sort of issue where? Isn't there some sort? Isn't there some sort of issue where they haven't announced where the crucible is for the fire yet? There's usually a big bowl at the sort of at the apex of the
stadium.
So I have this genealogy map that I hang on my wall, and it goes from Queen Elizabeth all the way back to the tribe, all the way back to Judah, and it goes through Jesse, David, Joseph of Arimathea, and all the royal families of Europe, all connected in one family tree. Mm-hmm. And at the top of it, it says something like the sun will never set without Israel's throne being, full or whatever. And there's a harp with the seal of the royal family, and it says that quote, right? And I'm like, well, why is the harp there? And the guy who gave me this genealogy thing, he told me that it was there because the royal family, Queen Elizabeth, was connected to Judah, and through Judah, Joseph of Arimathea, and I guess obviously Jesus and his whole bloodline, as well as all the other royal families of Europe.
I highly recommend you watch a new documentary called The Zion King.
Oh, no.
No. Really good. Just watched it last night. And they actually had Dr. Joy Pugh on as she's talking about Prince William being a clone of the Shroud of Turin.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, I actually have my interview with her as the featured. I have her interview with me on the featured show right now on FreemanTV.com. So you can go check it out.
Who's this, Freeman?
So you're saying
It's Dr. Joy Pugh.
That he is a clone from
the show.
a cell.
Yeah, and believe it or not, I had her on before the whole Barack Anaton thing.
Yeah. the whole new.
So you come with that idea, right?
Yeah. No. Well, yeah. Some thought that. But we found out that Kate Middleton was a goldsmith, one of the Goldsmith family, and that she was actually interbred with the Rockefeller family, and that Princess Diana and Kate are actually cousins.
Diana was a goldsmith as well.
Yeah. Didn't Max Egan do a lot?
On the other side, yeah, she was.
Her mum.
Her mother, because her mother disappeared to Argentina, didn't she?
What's called Zach's dad.
So the reason why I asked the question earlier about whether you thought it was Christian iconography or paganism or whatever is because I kind of believe that if it is as we suspect, that they are actually setting this up elaborately like some giant ritualized action that's going to go on simultaneously while the world's watching, then I believe that if that is the case, there has been all along an occulted system that they utilize, which utilizes the same iconography that we could apply all these meanings that we know about to these things that we look at, like, hey, look, it's a phallic symbol, or hey, look, it's a breast symbol, or hey, look, it's this alchemical symbol, but there's some specific systematized meaning that they have.
Well, the whole Olympic Games, the whole ceremony is kind of Prometheusm. The torch, and kind of Zoroastrians and keeping the flame burning. And it's funny at the moment. I don't know about over there, but we've got the Olympics coming up, and we've got this movie in the cinemas. The biggest thing at the moment is Prometheus. I don't know what it's about.
So are you saying that?
Kind of interesting timing there.
Yeah.
Is it the general idea of like the Nephilim, bringing the wisdom to the humans, and
no.
Well,
yeah, that. But then they eat and kill us all and rape and kill.
It's to serve man. It's the old Twilight Zone in the end, right? You ever seen that old Twilight Zone? Like George Story always talking about that. Yeah, it's at the end of the thing, it's like to serve man. The book was not really to serve man in service, but how to serve them, like, with chickpeas or, mashed potatoes or...
Exactly.
We have
real quick, we're getting questions in the chat room where people can find that Zion King movie. Is that the Ring of Power 2, Freeman?
It may be Ring of Power 2. I don't know if it's called that or not. It's Stop Productions.
Okay, yeah, it's Ring of Power 2. Did you happen to catch that?
She's in the Type 1 artist section on my site as well.
So just getting back to that point that you made, so we are actually going to see Jesus Christ returning then with William if he's...
Well, we already did.
Yeah. Well, in there, for them, they know.
He is the
We
Quetzalcoatl.
don't know who he is. We just see him as the Queen.
He's the 99th point of
Prince
whatever.
William. Because he's going to be 30
He looks
years
just
old
like the
as
Shroud
well.
of Turin.
He was 30.
Oh, he was 30 on the solstice the other
Say
day.
that again, Freeman. He looks like the Shroud of Turin.
He looks just like the Shroud of Turin. I mean, that's Dr. Joy's most strongest point, is he really does look like the Shroud of Turin.
Is it as good as Barbara Bush and
solstice?
Alistair Crowley, though?
It's as good as Barack Akhenaten.
Like in the,
Wait a second.
the 99th
His
point.
birthday was the solstice. He's born
that-
on
He was
Right,
fourth
yeah.
birth. Yeah.
Wow,
He's
that's
30
right.
just the other day, though.
Yeah, on the solstice. Yeah.
So basically,
He is the most high.
He is
on the most powerful day, the longest day of the year, the sun stands still, the most powerful day.
High.
That's his birthday. I get it, right?
Yeah.
So the question is, are we going to crucify him in 3 years' time then?
Well, that's
Right.
interesting because on their wedding day, when they had
That was
two,
at Easter as well, wasn't it?
yeah, which was at Easter, which was the
They had the black cake,
Beltane.
didn't they?
They had two wedding cakes, and one, which he chose was a black. Well, it was a chocolate cake, but this is representative of a. You say.
Well, I
Dick,
don't know.
what
So
kind
Max
of thing?
Egan went into some of that. That's
Well,
what I
it-
heard about this on his show.
Yeah, it's
The black cakes. The black cake symbolises
it's the feast of the huntress. Isn't
yeah,
it?
but it's a sacrifice. It symbolises that he's going to be a
Diana,
sacrifice. He's going to be.
Yeah, it's the loss, the sacrifice and
Yeah,
loss.
and,
my
and
God.
and that he ate the first piece of cake, and whoever has this first piece, whoever got the black piece of cake was the sacrifice. Or it wasn't a cake in the years ago. It was like a piece of coal, wasn't it, or something like that they were given,
So
and that was
it's like a load of
that was-
fairy cakes put into a thing. And
that was symbolic
Oh,
of the. And
Short
so,
straw
yeah,
again.
so it was kind of symbolic that possibly he will be sacrificed in a few years' time.
I heard something years ago. I don't know where it came from, whether it's David Icke or whatever, but like
On the
something
site
that
on
Harry
YouTube.
would be the king, the next king.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, that is interesting that Prince Harry could become the king, the actual king.
The guy that dresses up in Nazi uniforms,
that's
you know.
it, yeah, the one who dresses in Nazi
The one who's not
uniforms.
even part of the bloodline.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
He's got her.
Right. You got a different daddy.
I gotta take off, guys, man, but it's been a lot of fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant,
Freeman.
Freeman. Nice to
Yeah,
hear
man.
man.
Take it easy, man.
Take care, man.
Take care.
See you later, man.
Well, that, you know, what you're saying about, well, we mentioned Prometheus movie earlier on. That's a big part of it in Prometheus. There's a girl in it, and she's the kind of rightful heir to the scientist who's paying for the trip. And there's a sort of scene where she sort of bends down and kisses his hand, as if she's going to, like, it's a bit like Gladiator in that respect.
Right.
But he passes over her. He sort of shuns her and gives it to gives his inheritance or whatever to the robot.
Oh.
So
That's like the humiliation kind of.
well, it's she's actually his bloodline, but the robot isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's some connection there.
Handing over to the transhuman agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the trans-alien.
I mean, he's the most defined character. The robot in the film is by far and away he's the best actor, and he's got the best line. I mean, he really has. You know what I mean? He's I can't remember. I don't know the bloke's name, but he's he's got the biggest part, and he's got the most defined character.
And he's very Aryan looking too. And he
Yes,
also
yes.
said in an interview that he didn't even look at the Alien movies to study for his part. He watched Blade Runner. He said.
Hey.
Oh, there you go.
The replicants.
Yeah.
There you go.
Back to Philip K. Dick.
Yeah. We're going to take a little break here now, so we can all kind of.
Are we?
Oh, are we not?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Does everyone want to take a smoke break?
We're past the hour, so.
Well, do you want to hear what kind of tune?
Oh, we've got Fixed Tune on
We
there.
don't have to play
It's
that.
bloody not loaded up. You know.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Oh.
So, oh, sorry about that. But,
Go random.
go random. Okay.
We'll just get one of Dude Faces.
No, I'll end up being one of bloody Lobos.
Oh, yeah. No.
What, one of his porn tunes?
Yeah. Why not? This is.
Blue Green, did you put a tune up? No? What's Protege? Echoes from the Future?
No, that's not me.
Okay. It's just got a BG next to it. So, maybe it's the Bee Gees.
Maybe.
Here we go anyway.
Turn it up.
Okay, we'll be back shortly. Oh, that was quick, wasn't it?
There you go, that was a Type 1 artist. How do you reckon you pronounce that? Potty? Potty, is it?
Potite.
Luke Potite, there you go.
Thank you, Luke.
Yeah.
Very atmospheric.
So, I believe we've got another caller on the line, area code 732. Hi.
Hey, caller. Hello.
Free your mind!
All right. Brett.
What's up, people?
Brett, wow, long time, mother.
I know, how are you?
Yeah, very, very well, very well. Glad to hear from you.
How you been?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm back in New Jersey. I was in Hawaii for a month, hanging out with some people that like to swim with dolphins. They're into physics. One of them took care of John Lilly before he died.
Wow.
And
John
the guy,
Lilly.
John Lilly, inventor of the isolation tank.
Wow.
Dolphin communication, all that kind of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So that was pretty interesting. The guy I was staying with actually first met John Lilly. He got a ride to John Lilly's 75th birthday from Robert Anton Wilson.
Oh, wow.
There's
a story to tell at the dinner table, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was digging that, man, getting to meet some people that knew some of my heroes. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
And back in New Jersey now and seeing what's next, man.
Cool. How's the website and the charity work going?
What's that?
How's the charity going?
Everything's up.
Building your bipolar charity thing you were building up?
Yeah, I'm just doing stuff. I'm just having fun.
Good man, yeah.
I haven't figured out what I want to do with that yet.
Okay. It'll happen if it's going to happen. But
yeah. I'm still working on myself a little bit, so.
Yeah, aren't we all?
Yeah, I'm not quite ready to serve other people dealing with some of the mental health issues that I deal with until I'm kind of set and healthy and all that.
Yeah, but, that's good. That's good. It's no good diving into things before you're ready. It's good that you know where you're at.
Yep, I'm connecting with people into free energy still and permaculture and all that, and just finding out what the next adventure is, and
cool.
Still looking forward to hanging out with more friends of Freeman and everybody, man.
Yeah, you are. Well, you know you're welcome over here, so.
Yeah. Well, speaking to Freeman earlier, it seems there are more and more friends of Freeman every day.
Yeah.
He seems to sort of, I don't know, attract about 100 new people every day.
Oh, awesome. I got to spend some time with Herb guy out in Kentucky.
Hey, we saw him getting bitten by the pig.
And I'm still in touch with Brandon, Involved Observer. He's out on the West Coast now.
Yeah, he's got his own radio show on Type 1 Radio Lounge, don't forget, people. When is it? Sundays? I don't even know when it is.
No, isn't that Monday? Is it? Or is it Sundays?
Involved Observer, I'm sure.
I thought it was Tuesdays.
Tuesdays, there you go.
All right, there we go, yeah.
We still have a few slots open if anyone's interested.
I don't think I could commit.
Very cool. Good job, guys. I'm glad to hear your voices, and I'll be in touch, and I'll keep everyone up to date, man.
Please do. How's Papa Strawman getting on?
Oh, good.
Glad to hear
Are you still knocking them numbers out, buddy?
Yeah, Strawman is just undercover right now, that's all.
Excellent. Yeah, good to hear from you.
I'm still plotting and scheming, so.
No, we found that one very amusing. And probably doable. We consulted a few people on it and they just laughed and went, yeah, that would work, I suppose. If you don't give a shit about it.
Yeah.
Right on.
A great friend called Darren who just thought that was great fun.
Yeah. He's a top intellectual in our country.
Right on, man. Well, keep up the good work, man.
Yeah,
we will. Oh,
yeah,
don't worry.
We're doing our
Don't
best.
worry.
Yeah.
We'll just keep doing what we're doing.
Things are beautiful out here in the world, man. Everything's just
Yeah.
building and
Yeah.
building and building, and it's just getting better and better, man. And
Yeah, you know, things are beautiful, and I'm glad to hear someone else saying that,
Yeah,
because every
they are
day
very
when I go
beautiful.
outside and I don't know, I just feel very inspired by the whole world around me, and it's a great feeling. And I just hope other people are getting that feeling too.
But yes, Fight Chick, but you are also open to things that do not keep you in their false, fearful paradigm.
Thank goodness for that.
All it takes is to step outside of that, do some practices, and you'll see results. It's simple. But those who just look at their iPods and jerk off at youporn.com and that sort of thing are never going to know this stuff.
Don't talk about that.
Oh, wait, I'm a swami. I'm not
You know, there's nothing wrong with looking at porn.
hey, I like YouPorn. By the way, I want to start my own XXX site and fund philanthropy through that.
And what?
You know, that's these males of the species in order to
That
build
solves that depression.
energy, which is psychic energy. That's why porn has become so easy to get. The whole free love thing of the 60s is more about the damping down of human consciousness.
Yeah.
You cannot reach the height to which you are completely entitled if you're having a wank several times a day. There is no. I'm very serious. This is highly esoteric knowledge.
Yeah.
There's a substance called OHAS, O-H-A-S, which is a subtle part of ejaculate fluid in the male of the species. When you lose this, you lose psychic power and ability. And as long as you're chasing after that nut, you're not going to gain in knowledge, insight, and inner understanding of things that are exceedingly important.
Yeah.
That completely explains my problem.
Stop doing it 3 times a day.
Is every once in a while all right, Swami?
How bad do you want to be? Do you want to know that you are God and no different, only appearing different? If so, stop that for a while.
It's difficult to know how far to go, though, isn't it? Because you don't want to stop altogether.
Well, this is the reason that, from way back, yogis, monks, all that stuff, were to be celibate, so that they could make the most of this energy as it awakens within you.
Yeah.
Can then begin through the inner training of the mystery schools and all that sort of stuff. You can then begin to actually use it, or you can keep on wasting. This is exactly where we are at today. Those who know how to be powerful know how to utilize sexual energy. Because sex energy and psychic energy are the same thing.
Yeah, well, it's the Christ energy. That's what the Christ is.
Christos, yeah.
Christos. That's what the energy is, really. That's what the whole thing about being crucified is sacrifice, is dying to yourself and dying to those aspects of yourself and then being reborn. Yeah.
All you got to do to have everything is chase nothing.
Yeah.
It will all come to you. That's how it's supposed to work. But
that's awesome.
The Archons, with their knowledge, they keep us out chasing after things, chasing after sensations, being scared, perceiving lack, and danger.
Yeah.
Keeping your senses in a heightened kind of vibration of a fear or a sexual arousal. Yeah.
It's very closely aligned with the stuff we were talking about on my show last week with John Michael Greer about the way of limitation leading to manifestation. In order to manifest what you want, you have to decide what you must limit in order to manifest what you want.
Yeah.
What is required to be limited. And the way he put it was amazing, to talk about how all manifestation of reality occurs through limitations.
Yeah,
know your boundaries, yeah.
Where there is choice, there is confusion. You know, where there's no choice, there's clarity.
Yeah.
And he was talking. The talk was of the idea of the supra self manifesting in everyday reality through the limitation. Spirit being limited into matter was how he put it, I think, when we had the conversation. But he talks about it in the book as well, the mystery teaching from the Living Earth.
I mean, I'm involved in a lineage from ancient India who have been going toe-to-toe in a frequency war with these things, beings, whatever you want to call them. I've become very comfortable with just saying the Archons and their allies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because all of them have the same agenda. And it gets so freaking crazy. And I'm, like, kind of nervous about how much to actually talk about. You know? I mean, my meditative living show kind of turned into a rant yesterday. And, but it's serious. This is the real stuff that's going on. That's why those of us with any level of discernment can easily see the garbage, but everybody else is lapping it up with a biscuit.
Yeah.
And until they start controlling themselves, they will not change. They will be victimized.
Swami, the reason is because it's been that incremental, dampening effect, like the frog in the boiling point in the pot, the slow turning of the temperature up over time, pop culture, infiltration, mind control, social engineering. I mean, I look at the people around me, and I'm sure all of us could agree with this, but I'll speak for myself. I look at the people around me in everyday life, who are, for all intents and purposes, these are all very, intelligent, thoughtful, sensitive people who are just completely asleep. I mean, just thoroughly asleep. And I always go back to that emperor wears no clothes scenario. In the story, for anybody who's not familiar, which everybody probably is, though, that moment where the little girl says, wait a minute, or little boy, we got to echo. Crazy. But anyways, it's so clearly that case. It just seems like it's so starkly obvious, like you say, and yet everyone is just blindly ignoring the reality. Advaita, right? That's Sanskrit. Advaita, to ignore reality, to ignore all of reality, is right there in front of you.
Do you think we've been consciously, educated or uneducated? Because education means to unoccult, but like into being profane. What is called profane. Because if you're not actually what some like Gurdjieff would call it, if you don't have magnetic center, like this impulse from your higher self or monad or what, as many terms, then you're not going to be looking for these things. And if you're kept away from it by all the media impressions and stuff, you're going to be profane forever.
Right. Oh, look at the work of Mark Passio. Mark Passio talks about this, what you're saying. The idea of our culture is a form of Luciferianism. Everyone's being turned into Satanists, to totally self-absorbed. And he talks about it in the very strict sense, the way that he presents the Church of Satan, with these like principles that are totally committed to the idea of all about the self, that everything for the preservation of the self. As long as you're preserving your existence, then anything is completely acceptable. Any behavior, there is no moral, there's no right or wrong. It's just about you getting over, getting ahead and taking, stepping on people's heads and necks on the way. And isn't that what we have? I mean, there was research 30 years ago in America. They did a survey where they had a moral dilemma, and they had to make a choice. The students it was college, 2,000 people surveyed, and they said, well, if you have, what were the conditions of the moral choice, the moral dilemma that had to be made? And the overriding question, well, is it morally right? If I do this, is it morally right? And they did the study again, and 30 years later, and it's will I win? If I do this, will I win? That's now the question. Not is it morally right, but will I win?
Yeah.
Will I, and that's where we're at.
That's why I see so much value in people really grabbing a hold of stuff that, like synchromysticism, friendship agenda, the currency of friendship.
And love.
These are the things humans are naturally great at when we're not being led by the nose in the opposite direction.
Yeah, that's why this is so awesome. This is so awesome what's happening. Like what Swami's saying, and then what Freeman says, and what all the voices that are here say, that like people aren't bad, aren't evil and scary like the television wants us all to believe. Yep. With all the murder, death, kill, raping and torturing and maiming that they show us every day. Every show is saturated with it. Torture is commonplace now. When I was a kid, only the bad guys tortured people. It was always the Russians and the Cubans and the Arabs, you know what I mean? Those were the only guys.
It was always on TV, kind of after the 9:30 sort of watershed. Now you get that kind of behavior going on in soap operas that kids are watching.
And the sex on the TV in the early morning when my kids turn on TVs, and I'm like, whoa, turn it off. Like, what are they? They got these shows on that are like, like that one Jersey Shore on MTV, right?
Yeah.
It's 11 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. And
that's a British one, isn't it?
Yeah. Snoopy or something, or whatever her name is, Shoopy. I don't know what her name is, but this girl is like going out to the club, picking up guys, taking them home and bedding them, and they got a live cam in the room with the stranger she just picked up at the club and taking home and bedding.
She's now pregnant,
Yeah, well, it's just ridiculous because I'm sitting there thinking they're like transmitting this
goes back to, Frater, this goes back to what Swami was saying. It's taking it's about focusing our attention and fascination with things to actually extract that energy, that sexual energy that is the energy that we need to actually cultivate our higher faculties, if you like.
Yeah, and there's a double-edged sword too, because it's also consumerism 101. Because sex and anxiety sells products. If we're scared, anxious, and really turned on, we'll go out and buy stuff, man. That's the bottom line. We are more susceptible to suggestion.
And that's what we're born for. That's everybody's dream, isn't it? We were born to consume.
That's right. Yeah. Well,
I mean, I was a broadcaster in regular, radio stations in the U.S. for a long time, and when I was learning how to write commercials, one of the first things told to me by a guy who'd been around forever was, okay, when you write the copy for this commercial, your job is to create a perception of need in the person who hears it who did not have that before. However you can do that, you are successful.
That's the basics of sales. I did phone sales for years. Telemarketing, telecommunication. That's basic right there. Build rapport, and then establish a need, and then establish a perceived value in the product that you are presenting.
Because the wording as well.
Mind control.
Just the word consumer as well. It's got this reference. It's like if you consume something, it's you're eating it, and there's all the issues of people overeating and just being part of a consumerist society where we're taking things in. Yeah.
Well,
We're like those.
So we're actually.
We're like those women that Andrew Goff was talking about, that are like trapped in a sort of room, and and they're so big that they can't ever get out of it, and they're just
Like the queen bee.
Yeah, they're just fed honey. Well, we're just
Yeah.
We're in our own panopticon. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it starts with education and sort of like schooling. Because it's not what you learn in the class, it's what you learn in the playground, and that's peer pressure, and that's all the media impressions, and everyone has to have the latest thing, has to be a consumer, whether it's the latest, trainers or the latest BlackBerry, mobile phone or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on.
But unfortunately, it's totally unsustainable. It's a complete the idea of accumulation is counter to the way of flow. Life is flowing and moving always. We are not supposed to accumulate wealth. That's unnatural. I believe that. We are not supposed to. I'm sorry. And I know there's some people that think that it's okay as long as you do the right thing with it or whatever, but in my mind, I have never felt like wealth was a natural way to be. I always felt like it was unnatural.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It causes trouble.
Well, it's a corporation.
Well, you look at the product. I grew up and still now live in an area which has an elite class of people that live here because it's a resort area. So anywhere where there's multi-million-dollar views and homes and stuff, and big boats and stuff like that, and fancy cars and resort hotels and everything, you got wealthy people, and you got multi-generational wealthy people that I've grown up watching grow up and develop into human beings around me, and they are so troubled and so screwed up and so unproductive and unable to do things, basic things like assemble a barbecue. Out of the box metal barbecue, a basic Smokin' Joe barbecue from your big box store or whatever, or something very simple that's just beyond the basic motor skills of your average multimillionaire.
Well, once upon a time on this planet, we didn't have this schooling system that we have now. The way children were brought up was by wise people.
Yeah.
Gurus did this for people, and what they did was not sit and learn to be on time, pay attention to the instructor, do things without question. No, they were encouraged to question things. They were encouraged to follow their nature. Whatever was natural for them to be interested in, the gurus helped them to become better at that. Then they went into apprenticeship programs. Nothing like this swallow and regurgitate printed information schooling that we use now.
Well,
it's all wrong.
That's an outcomes-based kind of education. That's
right. It's all wrong.
Well. Can I just? But in one of my stories for the news, Bong, was that the BBC are pushing this remote learning sort of program again. There's a guy called Salman Khan, who's an ex-banker, and he's developed this online classroom scenario which just gets beamed into classrooms.
So remote transhumanism learning.
Cool.
Doing away with the face-to-face, basically. And the thing is that he's a merchant banker who's made so much money that he wants to give something back to the people. He's a big guy, you know what I'm saying?
He's a regular Bill Gates.
Yeah. I don't think
it's a regular Bill Gates, right?
Yeah. The BBC, it was on the BBC tonight.
What they want to do eventually is just have hundreds of kids in halls linked up to computers with just one person there to monitor the equipment, maybe two people.
Yeah.
Just to,
janitor.
Miss Market Pew.
That kind of links into a story I saw. It was some money that had been donated by the Gates Foundation for these bracelets. They're a galvanic skin response bracelet. Galvanic skin response bracelets.
And what does that do?
Bloody hell.
It's like a lie detector test, they basically would change colour if the kid is not paying attention. That's what they're to judge how empathetic the kid is being to the crap they're being fed. You know what I mean?
Right.
That way, the instructor can then bring about consequences for those who are not properly engaged in the subject.
Right.
Electric shock.
Because part of the way they're selling that story is that it's to help train teachers, but in the same article they said this isn't for training teachers. So what's it for then?
We lost you halfway through that. Say it again.
Oh, so in the article, can you hear me?
Yeah.
In the article, it kind of makes out that these are going to be tools for training teachers, but it also says in the article that that's not what they're going to be used for. So somebody asked the question, well, if teacher training, what's it for?
Oh, we went in the...
Playground, you're really going, man.
Oh, sorry.
Stay still.
And talk.
It's basically what Swami said.
Okay. Well, this week over here, Michael Gove, who was a journalist and now is the education secretary, he suggested that they trash the GCSEs and go back to...
Yes, go back to level. Yeah, that's right. I heard that. Yeah.
So at least he wants to go in the right direction.
Yeah.
Where it gives kids a little bit more critical thinking than they've got now.
Yeah.
But it's a far cry away from the trivium.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, not at the Trivium for quite some time anyway, sort of thing, and we only know that because Mark Party with Frater and Freeman and
everything's trivia now. Kids are fascinated with trivia.
Can you believe that when you know that about that word trivium and how it's been made to?
Yeah.
What's trivia? Trivia, which is just such a.
It's the same with all words.
That means it just means you're the fucking village idiot basically if you're into trivia, doesn't it? Oh, so led to believe.
No, just perverted the word.
The guy that was on Red Ice called Vic that we...
Jan Irvin?
No, not Jan Irving. The guy recently.
Which one?
The one talking about education.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
Yeah.
What, the one you listened to yesterday?
Not John Taylor Gatto.
Richard Crowe or something like that? Was that his name?
Richard Crowe.
Richard Grove.
Yeah. Grove, yeah, that right. He was awesome. He was talking about John Taylor Gatto and about that was a great. I want to get that. I actually wrote down a lot of stuff from that interview. I want to try to get him on my show, as a matter of fact.
But there's so much of this you see when you have kids in school. You actually see it. You can see it happening before your very eyes, and there's not a lot you can do about it because they kind of a lot of parents say to me, I lost. You lose them as soon as they go to secondary school. You lose them. And you can see
I'll tell you what
kind of thing that that they put into plan that John Taylor Gatto talks about, where they have this kind of separation from their parents and complete
rebellion.
Well, it happens. It's totally like engendered in our society. The only way I comfort myself with it all is a couple of things. Number one, I have already begun long ago a dialogue of revolution with them. So it's like old hat to them. They're like,
what's your armory? What's your artillery? Because I'm struggling.
I'm completely honest with them. I tell them that there's two kinds of people in the world: those who have to work and those who don't. And the ones that don't have to work want to keep it that way. And they are the ones who own the media and own all the politicians and all the political process that we have. And so everything that they hear is going to be filtered through that agenda, the ones that want to keep power. And, I mean, I tell them the truth. And I said, as far as school, I said, school is a game. It's a game of obedience.
Absolutely.
If you're obedient, you'll win. And if you're not, you'll lose. And that's it. And I said, all the grades that you get in those report cards are just like, that's a measurement of your obedience.
But in some ways, I think that can be a bit unfair because I think that, like this guy the guy that was on Red Ice the other day, he was saying that, and I've heard it from a few other people as well, that they really enjoyed school and they went through school fine.
Well, I don't take it away from them, though. I wait for them to come to me with the questions about it. So, like, I haven't done that with my youngest ones. They do love school. They love art. They love recess. They love all their friends and all that, and I don't take that away from them. But eventually they come to me and they go, why is recess so short now? Or why did they take recess away? Or why is art only for one semester a year now?
Or
you know,
why are some kids so disillusioned by something or other, or why is some
and when they or why does the
kids so
teacher make
angry?
us,
Well, it's because
well, no, it's mostly about the teachers and the administration. Why do they have this rule? Why do they have that rule? Why do they make us do that? The other day, my kids told me that at the last day of school, the lunch ladies went around like collection agencies to the kids in the school, and all the kids who owed money were not, if they had the money on them that they owed, they took the money and they wouldn't let them buy lunch.
What?
Yeah. And so then my son, I said to my son, well, what happened? I said, how many kids did that happen to? And he said, 2 kids. And I said, well, what happened? And he goes, my teacher gave him the money to buy lunch. She gave them the $2 each to get lunch. But, you know, that same, maybe not that same teacher, but the year before, my son, somehow we didn't get a notice, like he was supposed to bring home a piece of paper that told us that they had to bring in a present for Secret Santa for Christmas time when he was in like 3rd grade. And we didn't get that notice, so he went to school that day without a Secret Santa present, right? And all the other kids in his class had a Secret Santa present except him. And the teacher, like, said to him something along the lines of, well, you should have brought a present. I'm sorry, we don't have anything for you. And let my son sit there and cry in front of all the other kids because he didn't have a present. I mean, she couldn't open her drawer and grab whatever toy she'd confiscated from a kid like me in the class, like the teacher before, and like say, here, man, have that, or giving him the, I don't know, something. You know what I mean?
Did you not say to him when he got home, well, Santa's just a crock of shit anyway?
It's just a mushroom. It's just an anagram of Satan, Siberian shaman.
Don't worry, they're all engaging in a sad ritual. You just did that on nothing, son.
No, I said, let me guess, Raider. I'm going to bet that in our day, we were pretty much alike. We were the guys sitting in the back of the classroom making comments about everything the teacher said.
And drawing nudie pictures.
Yeah, see, I can't even draw a stick figure. So
I'm a really good drawer. No, you're right. I was basically, here's how it went for me in education. I basically got sent to the office every single day. The school called my house every single day after school. I cringed every time the phone rang because I knew one of those calls was the vice principal. And I always started the same way. My parents would be like, hello? Yes, this is him, or yes, this is her. And then it'd be like, really? Oh. Oh, really? And then it would just be like, I understand. Of course. Yes, I understand. And then the hang up of the phone and the steely-eyed glances from across the room, you know? I mean, it was always the same thing. It was always me questioning the teacher's authority to say what they had to say, their source material. I used to bring in alternative views. I'd bring in other source material and challenge the curriculum. And eventually, I gave up because they kept kicking me out of the class and kicking me out of the class. That was, you know, authority will win. It's all about obedience, guys.
Right.
Go to the office. I don't care if you're right. And so eventually, I just gave up. And what I did instead was I'd come to class with my own books, and I'd sit in the back of the room, and they left me alone. They were glad that I was quiet. And so I'd just sit back there and read and study and learn all the work that they didn't really want me to learn. And got smarter and smarter and smarter, and they just passed me grade after grade all through grammar school.
They didn't want to be bothered with you, right?
I got straight F's. Straight F's across the board. I failed every single class, and they passed me grade after grade. My parents were astounded. They were like, how come they keep passing him? He's getting straight F's. I don't understand. And then they'd let me go take a test, and I'd score off the charts, and they were like, well, he obviously knows the material. He just doesn't do the work. I would never do homework. I refused.
See, that was my thing too. I was your classic D student because I could ace the tests.
Yep,
if I heard the information, I had it, you know. But I wouldn't do any homework.
And I would
fail the homework, ace the tests, get a D, and move on.
And then I also got in a lot of trouble in school. I know that may be hard to believe, but I did think like one time at lunchtime. My school was a big square building, like 4 long hallways connected into a box with a courtyard in the center that used to be the smoking area for us high school kids that could smoke back in the day. That's how old I am, right? We could smoke in high school, at like 16 years old, you know what I mean? And so as long as your parents said it was okay, you can smoke, you know, but the doors would be open in the springtime because it would be so hot. They'd open all the doors, and they'd open up the doors to the courtyard and the outside, so it like would let the wind and air blow through these hallways. And one day after lunch, 3 kids that I knew had a big skyrocket, like bigger than a bottle rocket, but smaller than like pyrotechnics. And they were trying to light it off outside the school, but it had a broken stick, see, so it had no stabilizer. And they were scared to do it. And I was like, give me that thing, Mr. Big Shot, right? So I light that thing, and I drop it on the step, and it does a total 180 and shoots right down the hallway. Over the entire, everyone's heads, it goes like somersaulting over everyone's head, goes around the corner and explodes right next to the principal's head. Just walking around the corner. And by the time he got down the hallway, he had about 6 signed affidavits about who did it. You know what I mean? And he had like a clear and clear CSI report on it already. It was very
right. Instead of just looking around and seeing who's laughing the hardest.
Pretty good, actually.
Fucking hell,
That's crazy. It's crazy times.
But see, that's how we type of folk who are resistant to the mind control. That's just the way we come up.
Well, it's interesting, though, because I hear again and again the same people say the same things that I can relate to. For me, it's the experiences that actually the fact is that we like Marilyn Manson always says, right? You created me. You can't hate what you create. You know what I mean? Like society can't hate me because I'm society's product. You know, it's like the people who are iconoclastic or non-compliant are those who have been wounded by society in one way or the other, oftentimes because they were not allowed to fit in. Because they did think outside the box, they challenged the norm, they challenged the general malaise of everybody else, and that was not acceptable. People don't like that. You know, they want to quiet and silence those people, and if they won't be quiet, then they'll abuse them. They'll abuse those who challenge and try to upset the apple cart. We see that over and over again. And so people like us, we get browbeaten enough by the culture around us, and you either submit, give up, and lay down and die, or you resist.
Well, it's
one or the other. You know? That's what you're going to do, right? I mean, you're going to do one of those things.
Yeah, it's every factory produces some kind of flawed, at least 1 or 2 flawed cogs,
Yeah, obsolescence or aberrance.
Yeah, and sometimes you talk about Marilyn Manson. Sometimes I think some people are unconscious avatars of for use of whatever power, whether it be archonic or Christic,
Absolutely, sure, I agree. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah, he's quite good on Marlon Manson. I quite like his tunes.
Yeah, I don't mind him.
Got him on he's on my Pandora radio station.
Pandora.
I don't like Marilyn Manson, actually.
What is it?
I don't like his music.
Beautiful.
It was a very gross show, though, I have to admit, when I saw him live in the 90s in San Francisco.
Oh, Marilyn Manson?
Yeah. It was the grossest thing.
I saw him open for 9 Inch Nails, and that was weird.
I don't like any of that gross stuff.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, it was pretty gross. I don't even want to tell you. It was very gross.
Yeah.
It's dark nights,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's moved on from Alex Cooper, isn't it?
Yeah. Alice Cooper and Iron Maiden, guys. Next Tuesday, I'm going to see
yeah.
for my birthday.
Cool.
It's called Maiden England. That's the tour. Maiden England.
Me and Steve went to see Maiden in, God, I don't know. When was it, Steve? He's in the smallest room at the moment, so he can't give an answer. But
Long time ago, huh?
That's what you call it.
The smallest room, yes. I think you know what I mean. It was about, I don't know, maybe 90, something like that, 1990.
They're still rocking.
I couldn't hear for about 3 days afterwards.
I fully expect that to happen, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's for me, it's kind of, it's like my 42nd birthday, guys. So it's sort of like last detail, man.
Happy Incarnation Day.
That's the Venus number, isn't it?
That's the meaning of existence.
That's the meaning of life and everything.
That's right.
It's 42 negative confessions, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the answer to the question.
Yeah.
Venus? 42?
Yeah, I don't know.
And also, the 26, that's the number of God, isn't it? They talk about that in the Think Book.
All right.
Strategies.
So Yeah, I mean, I figured I'd go through the gods of metal. I'd revisit the old altars, light the fires, see what I come away with, See
if the nostalgia wells up or not.
Yeah, it will definitely well up. See if it is, if it's pleasant.
Prater's going to see Alice Cooper and Iron Maiden for his birthday. Jupiter, 42. Jupiter's the number of Jupiter.
Sorry, Jupiter, 42, that's it.
Okay.
Jupiter.
Say that again, Prater, sorry?
What was that question?
We're talking about
significance of 42.
It's
and
Jupiter,
the Jupiter. I was saying Venus, but it's the Jupiter number.
Jupiter.
Yeah, sorry guys. All I can tell you is that 42 is the answer to the question of life, the universe, and everything.
Yeah.
Atoms. Sorry.
It's also the alchemical symbol for Jupiter.
Yeah, I know.
And it also relates to 42 negative confessions. Yeah.
Wow.
And 42, one of the calls of Dee and Kelly too. I think I just read that in the Enochian Vision Magic. Which, by the way, speaking of that,
6, isn't it? If you geometry it would be 6, 4, and 2.
Yeah, that's what you 4 and 2 added together makes 6. But and
the 4 elements. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, carry on.
Go on, carry on, Prater.
And what's his name? Usain Bolt is doing adverts in this country at the moment for Virgin Media, where he's doing this pose of Jupiter, the Jupiter pose, with one hand down and one hand.
Usain Bolt, the Olympic runner, the Olympic champion.
Where he's pointing up and he's kind of got one up his left.
Yeah, that's a Baphomet thing too.
Yeah.
That's above.
Sorry, Prater, you were making a point earlier. Is that?
Well, first of all, come on. With the sweeping aside, that's what's Baphomet thing. It's not really. It's a hermetic thing, a hermetic symbol and emblem. Come on.
I'm a yogi. We don't know a Baphomet.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with Baphomet.
Well, I mean, have you ever heard of Professor Hugh Schoenfield? He wrote a book called The Passover Plot, and he also worked on. He was from Edinburgh, I believe. I think he was from Edinburgh, but he worked out a cipher that was called the At-Bash cipher.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
And he applied it to different words. Like, for example, he applied it to the word Baphomet, and when he did, he came up with Sophia.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's what it is, man. It's about Eliphas Levi when he designed that symbol. Yeah, there's a lot. It's just an alchemical symbol.
Yeah.
If you know how to read it, it's beautiful.
It's not the pentagram.
No, the Baphomet.
The Baphomet, right?
Yeah, it's sitting on a cubic stone. It's so much in there, but it takes pages
coded with a lot.
Decode it. And it's about it's about everything that Swami was talking about. Overcoming those lower aspects of ourselves and
raising up.
Yeah.
Well,
he's got
let's
the
get back to
torch between the horns. Everything. Yeah, good.
Sorry, I wanted to get back to what Swami was talking about earlier when you were talking about porn and sexual energy and masturbation and all that. I was listening, and I'll tell you, I think there really is something clearly to the idea that we generate, like, for example, when you get involved in any kind of ritualized activity, if you're involved in any kind of practice or discipline, chanting, dervishes, dancing, any ritualized activity creates a vibrational effect, which literally takes our consciousness to a different frequency. Yeah. And that's why the monks chant, and that's why that these tonal vibrations and sonic healing is so powerful, because there's something to this. That's why going to see Iron Maiden and Alice Cooper on a very, quantum level, I mean, there is an exciting aspect to that, even, from a purely aesthetic place. Just being around electrified sound and the tones that are created, it's fascinating. The way that human beings express themselves musically. Yeah. And there's something so exhilarating about the whole experience. But to get back to what Swami was saying about denying ourselves that aspect, by not giving in to the temptation to generate sexual base energy, which, we know that keeping ourselves, like, not meditating. If I don't meditate at least for 10 minutes a day, if I don't devote at least the smallest portion of my day to something spiritual, I will be immersed, and totally entangled in matter forever, completely. And I will be on that lower vibration, and I will never receive any wisdom. I will never, ever even be conscious of another aspect of things. It'll all be base. It'll all be matter-oriented and very low vibrational. And if that's the way you want,
senses and mind, that's it.
Yeah, and urges, desires, basic animal needs, you know what I mean? And
absolutely.
you know, anxiety, sexual need, it's all right there. Bam.
It's been able to transmute these impressions, because they're all impressions, you know, it's been and energies and vibrations, but it's been able to transmute them.
Yeah, there has to be something more here, you know, and there is.
No, there is.
That's what we're, and you know, just really quickly, just to say this, because I know, aren't we coming up on the end of this, or is this going to be?
Oh, we're pretty close, but keep going. We'll archive.
I wanted to bring up that I have an awesome guest coming on my show tonight, guys, over on American Freedom Radio.
Why, Fredo, why don't you tell us who he is?
Juan Milo Duquette, returning to the Middle Chamber to talk about one of his newer books, Enochian Vision Magic. And this book is amazing. I mean, his analysis of this material is just astounding, not only because of what it contains, but his understanding of these concepts and of the way our consciousness works and how we can invite change into our consciousness, and we can experience higher states of awareness, higher states of reality, and we can improve our existence. And have a wonderful, way more. When people ask me, you know, people say I'm bored or if I'm depressed, and I say, well, then you haven't really cultivated a rich inner life, have you? You know what I mean? Because, you know, seriously.
And they're like, inner life? Hell that.
That's a good one. I'm going to use that one.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you have done that, you are never going to be bored. You are never going to be depressed. I'm telling you. I'm here to tell you. It just doesn't happen. There's no room for boredom.
I haven't got enough time to be bored these days. I would love to be bored.
I will tell you guys, quite honestly, this Swami was once upon a time diagnosed with major depression disorder. During my personal dark night of the soul, as many describe it, that's what occurred. And it was meditation and the practice that I do that alleviated it.
It was devoting some amount of your life and your consciousness to the spirit and to the higher ideals. Inwardly, yes.
So we've got.
We've got a minute left. So and I think
so. That was not.
That was the news, Bong. We did some of it, yeah.
But the news.
But I didn't mean to take you off track there.
We had the three greatest broadcasters now in American history on the show with Freeman, Frater, and Swami.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. What more do you want?
Thanks, guys, for having us and tolerating our malarkey.
Tolerating? No, anytime, man. Anytime. Yeah.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Wow.
Oh, it sounded like the Dark Crystal for a second there.
Sounded more like the Broken Crystal.
Like a broken back.
Monster shop and workshop.
Hey, well, yeah.
Okay, so next week we may have on Roger Hayes.
Roger Hayes? Okay, yeah. Okay, right.
Well, hey, have a great weekend, everybody. I'm going to bounce out of here now. You guys take care.
Take it easy.
Let's make sure talk to you later.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Blessings to the family, yeah. Go on, anyway. So next week we've got Roger Hayes. Oh, exciting.
Yeah, maybe, we're just going to work it out.
I think he's going to be banned from the Type 1 radio lines. Though.
He's been banned from everywhere else. He's not doing it anymore.
Oh, is it not going to happen?
I don't know.
Yeah, from Jake.
Vanessa.
Yes, we did, but we
can maybe talk about this after.
Okay.
Yeah. This is not a radio discussion.
Yeah.
Or we can okay, so we may have a guest next week.
Yeah. Woo!
If not, we can do the Bong again, because that was great fun.
Yeah.
The news Bong.
Are we around? I think we are, but then I think the week after that
we're going to be from we're coming from the Secret Garden party.
Yeah, 22nd of July.
It'd be great if we could fly Swami over to do a talk, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That would be beautiful. We can, let's.
at some point in the future, I'll tell you this now, at some point in the future, this Swami body will be traveling around giving people the experience of Shaktipat live and in person.
Well, you have the use of our space here, Swami,
Thank you very much.
to rest the bones and to travel outwards to meet the people.
Yeah.
Because we'll put on a show for you, mate.
Together, Swami. That'll be wicked.
And yeah, Ben's coming over on 15th of September as well, isn't he?
We were hoping to get John.
From Whitwick?
No.
John Lamlash?
No. Free Energy. John.
Oh, John Stewart.
No,
John Hutchison.
John Hutchison.
There we go. We got there.
There we go. We got there in the end.
Hey, that was another one of my one of my news
bong
stories. I'm news bong stories. Shall I give it? Shall I lay it?
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Right.
go for it.
When we had Judy Wood here with us, I think it was when she was here, she said that the storms in Oklahoma and in Kansas and all that of that year went through the roof when the when the analog signal was switched over to digital signal. And this week has been the final switch over
In this
here,
country.
right? And we've had immense flooding in the north of England and crazy storms and just the Isle of Wight
And
festival.
do you know what? About every 2 or 3 weeks, there's a report of a tornado in
A tornado
Great Britain.
in a place where you never get tornadoes.
Yeah,
So,
well, I mean, where is the land man that you can get these kind of things going?
so yeah, that was a news bong from me.
That's a very interesting news bong. Thank you. So anyway,
So Blue Green, have you got any news bongs?
Oh, well, most of mine were ruined earlier on. I have one, someone I know, this has already been broken on the internet, but someone I know I was in contact with. She emailed the BBC about, the response about getting David Icke on to Question Time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Shall I read you what she got back from them?
Please do, yeah.
So I'll just read this. This is just grabbed from Skype.
They're interesting.
What happened was, after someone emailed requesting David Icke appearance on the programme, BBC replied, my masters from the planet Zog say no. So today I sent a complaint to the BBC, and 15 minutes later I got this reply. So the first part is her email. It says, recently you have been sent an email requesting David Icke's appearance on Question Time programme. The request was dismissed with no reason given. Let me remind you that the BBC is funded by a TV licence fee, which the viewers or non-viewers are required to pay annually. It's reasonable to think that the public would have a say in what people they want to see on BBC programmes, instead of you making the choice for us. If you refuse to take the public's request seriously, I will stop paying my TV licence fee immediately, and I will launch an initiative encouraging others to do the same. Kind regards.
You're taking part in that initiative.
And she got this back. Thank you for contacting on the guest on Question Time. We acknowledge that the tone of our email response from a member of the programme production team was inappropriate, and we apologise. Thanks for taking the time to contact us. Kind regards, Tony Rogers, BBC Complaints.
Wow.
So that was pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. So he's not going to be on Question Time, I take it then?
Well, I don't think that was ever in question, you know. It was just the way that, I mean, the BBC shouldn't, do you know what it's like? They shouldn't be being flippant like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
That was well out of order, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I had one other.
Didn't they?
I had a little bit of royal news.
Oh,
but you guys all know this. Anyway,
I've got royal news as well. Maybe it's the same one.
It's just to say that the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, or Phil the Greek, as we like to call him, is feeling much better. After his bladder infection. And I just wanted to say, on behalf of the rest of humanity, that we can all breathe a sigh of relief. Because remember what he said he was going to do if he died? He was going to come back as a virus.
Yeah.
So I think we can all be thankful for his good health. So.
Yeah, and long may he live. Do you want to hear my royal news?
Yes, please.
The Queen has agreed to meet Martin McGuinness.
Oh, God.
The former IRA terrorist, killer of women and children. Doesn't that just show you up for what?
She gonna try and mate with him or something?
Yeah. But it just shows you what a piece of shit we are
The Queen's
sort
going to meet with
of
Martin
living in.
McGuinness.
And there's also been another one, Blue Green. Have you heard about? I know this is sports news, by the way. This is sports and football. The Greece and the Greek and German football match last night, where Germany absolutely slaughtered Greece, like they're going to do in the Euro situation as well. They say, well, we're going to have your country anyway because we're the rise of the Fourth Reich sort of thing. But Angela Merkel was seen sort of like pumping her fist at the Greek Prime Minister. You see that? And have you ever heard in the because it was 4-1, it was a drubbing, and she just stood up and went and shake.
There'll be a YouTube of her grabbing her crotch later.
But the other football news I've got is that Angela Merkel was at the Germany game last night, as was the Greek Prime Minister, whoever he is. But there's been no show of David Cameron at the England games, and apparently Westminster said it's in protest due to them holding political prisoners in the Ukraine. Really? Did you hear that?
I'll have to think about that.
Why did you leave the songs up to go to the fucking
Ecuadorian, yeah. But I thought that was very odd that was the response that.
Oh, maybe that's because he's got Aung San Suu Kyi here this week, and he wanted to not make a scene when they were.
Okay, right. There you go. But it's fucking hell.
Did any of y'all across the pond hear this bit about? I guess in some court action, the Queen was named as being not a legitimate monarch.
Oh yeah. What's it called? The guy that did the 7-7 Ripple.
Yeah.
He did that. He brought a case.
But I mean, there was actually a court that pronounced this.
Well, I don't know whether or not they could pronounce it, because they were the Queen's courts, weren't they?
Well, see, that's what I was wondering. I was like, I saw the headline, but I didn't read it.
Yeah, well, over here, the Crown courts aren't the Queen's, they're the corporations.
The Crown is different.
Yeah. Because I think he was representing himself, and he brought that up himself. He
Kevin's
he put the notice in to the court record.
And once you put a notice into the court record,
it's noticed.
It's all about a coronation.
Oh, okay, all right.
Right chair.
Yeah.
Right, okay. She wasn't on the right chair for her coronation.
Yeah, and she didn't have the right stone underneath.
Right.
She
had the skull. Okay, right. Yeah. When she should have had the one with
her coronation was illegitimate.
Okay. Because there's a stone with 2 footprints in it, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's not the Rosetta Stone, is it? Because but it's
Skun. Stone of Skun.
Skun, that's it. Yeah. Okay. And it was taken from Stirling, wasn't it? I believe. Originally.
Yeah, it was stolen, I think, and which is pretty weird. I think it was stolen and missing at the time, but then they later recovered it. So she must have been sitting on either A, no stone, or B, a fake one.
Yeah. So either way, she's not a legal monarch.
Yeah.
Or lawful.
Oh, Kale surprise. She's a fucking nobody, isn't she? Oh, what a little bitch that she is. Sorry, David Ash, if you're listening.
Do you know what monarch means?
Go and tell us.
Well, mon, comes from moon, solar, lunar, and arc. There's an arc on it, as in a container.
Oh, she's a fucking. She's an Archon. She's an Archon, man. Oh, fucking knew it.
Oh, the lunar energy, the Earth energy.
They called her Lilith, didn't they, when she was a kid?
They what?
They called her Lilith.
Elizabeth.
Yeah. Oh, right, yeah. Okay. But isn't Lilith...
Isn't it Elizabeth?
Right, okay, no, I can't remember.
That was one of yours, wasn't it? Blue-green.
Isn't she like a...
Yeah.
Oh, hey, sometime when you're ready for a blast from the past, look up photographs of the Queen Mother's coffin.
Right.
and see why. Ask yourself, why did that little short woman need that big ass coffin? It's like 7 feet long. I'm not kidding.
Queen.
I don't lie to y'all about this stuff. Just look at it and then wonder. She was just a little bitty nip of a thing.
Size.
Size, yeah.
Well, how big was her bed?
Fucking hell, that's big, isn't it? That's got 8 guys carrying it.
Yeah.
6 carry them here in this country.
6 normally carry it here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So why does a 5-foot-tall woman need a big, long thing that a giant reptilian would fit?
Gotta have room for the baby fetuses.
These aren't jokes.
Yeah, they have to have room for canopic jars.
Yeah. Oh.
So
Yeah.
I'll publish that link.
That is bizarre, yeah.
Twitter it.
Yeah, how do we do Twitter then? I don't want to know. I don't want
Ooh, that's a big link. What the hell?
Wow, what was that?
to. That's of the Queen Mother's coffin. That's how big it is for me.
Bloody hell, as my English friends would say.
In the link to it. Jeez.
Well, there is 8 soldiers as well as some crowns and some like snacks for later for
Bunch
them.
of glass fields of glass, all of it.
Just a little something to make you go,
Oh, the whole article.
What was Queen Mother's name?
Elizabeth.
It was Elizabeth, yeah.
She never used to brush her teeth, did she?
Hey, I say we all chip in after these archons fall and get the groom of the stool retrained. That guy deserves it.
I know.
We can find him a good job.
You find out what you need to know on the mail online, don't you?
Yeah.
The mail online is just wicked. It gives you so much information.
Yeah.
If you, the news at Bong should definitely be mail online.
Should we ask them for sponsorship?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Daily Mail, would you mind off? We hate the Queen, by the way. Let's just get that one. Hey, I've got some more
News Bong.
News Bong, yeah. Or is it? No, it wasn't. Oh, it was something to do with the Sex Pistols are going to be played at the opening ceremonies.
Yeah.
Is this correct? Yeah.
Oh, God Save the Queen, the fascist
Yeah,
regime.
yeah.
It's going to be played.
It is going to be played. Is that for sure? Yeah. Has that been?
I heard that rumour as well.
That's ridiculous.
That is bizarre. But guess what else is happening right now? The official like sort of coverage thing from Sky on Sky News. What they're going to do, and they're using London Calling. They're using fucking London Calling by the Clash to.
There's nothing sacred.
It's just like you are fucking having a laugh.
Yeah, but Joe Strummer was no public school boy.
Yeah, but it just means that
They could have used Clampdown. Come on.
yeah, you use Police on My Back or yeah.
That's wild.
Not a Clash song, is it?
No.
Well, I mean, how bad did it freak y'all out to see the pictures of missile batteries being set up on private buildings around the Olympic? I mean, come on.
That's for the aliens.
Yeah. Project Blue.
If you look on Daily Mail, there should be an article by Nick, a thing about Nick Pope, and he's saying possible alien attacks.
Well, that's what the LAR people are. I mean, this is the one-eyed things.
Yeah. They come together and make one.
Bad freaking news.
Yeah.
If this happens, thousands are going to die. Period. I'm not kidding. I don't kid about this stuff.
I know. It's shocking. I know those tower blocks where those missiles are stationed, and it's like, oh my God, it's the worst, run-down place in London, or it was one of the most. You wouldn't want to live in one of those tower blocks, basically. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Greenwich, that area.
Oh, it's just dreadful area sort of thing. It's, where it is. No, it's not Hackney. Stratford.
Stratford, yeah.
Stratford is just one of the worst. We lived there because that's the only place we could.
We used to live where they're actually building the site now.
It was the only place we could afford a house because we were sort of, didn't have that much money.
Really run down.
Oh.
We moved out.
We were so lucky to get in there.
Yeah.
Moved to Brighton.
Moved to Brighton, moved to Happy Land. Yay!
Didn't like what was happening to London, so.
Mind you, the house that we did sell has quadrupled in value since the Olympics was announced, but we don't care. We don't need money anyway.
Well, it wouldn't have made any odds to us anyway, but anyway.
You're not bitter.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not,
Fucking happy,
not
yeah.
one single
Not one bit, man. It was like...
Stop fucking going on.
We still... Okay.
It was just funny to live there. That
it was, yeah. It was such a shithole.
Yeah, it was such a shitty place. We couldn't wait to get out of there. And now it's like this really, sought after, or I don't know if it's sought after, but it's a hot place, isn't it? Certainly at the moment.
Well, it's London.
The eyes of the world are on it, and we just couldn't wait to get out of there. We could feel the eyes of the world beginning to hone in and not wanting to be in the spotlight.
Yeah.
I loved it when I lived in England. When I was young and stupid and in the U.S. Air Force, and I was assigned to RAF Alconbury.
Oh, where's that?
Cambridge.
Near Huntingdon.
Oh, yeah.
That's near where Secret Garden Park.
Near where Secret Garden Park is.
Okay, yeah, I know most of those.
I
don't know that one.
And matter of fact, I got kicked out because of things that occurred on that base. And one of them was when we were sending up the TR-1s, which were based there, which were reconnaissance aircraft that looked like the U-2.
Oh, yeah.
Big cigar-looking thing with very long wings. But they go up to the edge of the atmosphere, and they basically glide, and the pilots wear like a pressurized spacesuit. Well, anyway, I was a 5,000-gallon jet fuel tanker truck driver, and I was backing up to fuel up a TR-1 so that it could go fly over Libya and shoot pictures of Gaddafi back in the 80s when they hit Gaddafi with aircraft from...
The bomb at Tripoli in, what, 85?
84, 85.
Yeah.
85, yeah. But I took one of their reconnaissance aircraft out because I dented the nose cone where the camera is. And, yeah! I had no clue, but, it worked out kind of nice and made a neat story to tell on Type1 20 years later. But.
Yeah.
I got to meet more colonels and stuff after that happened. My name came up at the Pentagon the next day. I mean, it was kind of a big deal. And I was stopped from operating. If the Air Force would have had a tricycle, I couldn't have operated.
It's kind of like when Obama's car, when he was in Ireland, I think, and it came out from from the offices, and it went to go onto the road again, but it couldn't get over the pavement bit. It kind of got wedged there, and there's this big clunk that happens as it goes by, and the beast. Yeah, the beast got stuck.
If you look on the Type1 groups of the comedy, Type1 comedy.
Comedy, it's in there.
There's a video in there of it. It's very, very amusing.
I wish there was a video of that one as well. Swami.
Yeah, me too.
I can see it in my mind.
It's there. Very funny. Good. So how's the election going then?
It's what?
The election?
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Election news. Okay, here's Swami, our election news USA correspondent.
Okay, in election news, nobody cares. There is no choice. Ron Paul and Rand Paul have been compromised and will not be doing anything to ruffle the the water of Obama and Romney, who Obama has, I've heard the recording of him caught on a hot mic he wasn't aware of, stating that the powers, quote, the powers that be want Romney, and you know how that is.
Oh dear.
I will not be the least bit surprised if Mr. Obama is assassinated or impeached or whatever they can hang on him, because he's there to be the scapegoat.
Mm-hmm.
And then Romney will come in with the martial law and the crackdown.
Well, it's a big moment, isn't it?
So there's your election report.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you for the truth, Shimami.
Well, you know, that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're getting, I don't know, Cameron's getting a bit of a beating at the minute, isn't he? Sort of, by the sort of powers that be. He left his kid in a toilet, did you hear that?
No.
Left his kid in a pub?
But I think that this week it came out that there's a comedian over here called
brilliant.
Jimmy Carr who'd found some cool tax avoidance scheme, and Cameron, trust fund kid Cameron, had the audacity to say, "This is wrong.
Yeah.
He should be paying his taxes." He's like, "Well, do you fucking pay his taxes, mate?"
And no, but at the same time, the same time, the Queen's Jubilee, there was a big pop concert, and there's a guy called Gary Barlow who's the singer. He's a singer in a no good band, and basically he supports the Conservatives, and he did a similar thing, but Cameron said, well, he's entitled to do what he wants. If he can find a loophole, if he can, he more or less said, if you're clever enough to do this, then fair play.
He's singing at the opening of the Olympics.
Yeah, he's doing
Gary Barlow, is he?
Yeah.
I thought that was.
He's been made by the royal family now, hasn't he?
Well, he orchestrated the.
He spent a lot of time with them.
Fucking.
What? Gary Glitters singing at the Olympics?
Now that would be
I'm sorry, I had a
bug
bug in my ear or something.
If you can get the glitter, to open at one of your parties, mate, you are connected.
That's right. Talk about naked kids on the wall.
Yeah. Gary Glitter's probably fucked a few of the kids at the Queen's eating.
Oh.
It's like marination, right?
What?
Sorry. See, Swami's just...
Any minute.
Well, Swami, on that subject, I wanted to say that I really enjoyed your show the other night, and I realise, in some sense, that Swami shouldn't talk like that, but it's really what's required from me, because I'll have to admit, and I don't mean any disrespect to anyone, but I kind of have some sort of visceral kind of about these Indian phrases, and you don't use a lot of them, and I'm really glad about that. So I got a lot out of last night's show. Mm-hmm. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. Let me just explain what the objective is from this Swami's point of view. We are in a battle of frequency with the Archons and their allies. What I give to people and point them towards, it's not so much like I give it. I have it. I can help other people to get to it, but it's all a vibrational frequency thing. All right? And when one becomes a master of this stuff, and you become enlightened and liberated, you effect an enormous chunk of real estate by your mere existence in a physical form. They can do nothing about this. So that's why my thing is I am working very hard, especially with families. I want to see families become enlightened, so that then their influence goes from little kid to adult. And the more of us who wake up use these practices to whatever degree is comfortable for them. Those who want to know more will certainly come to me and ask. And I am ready to give everything I know and more to anyone who will just sit and talk to me for a little bit. Because we have to get this done, or the lucky ones will be food. That's the situation that's happening. But when you become enlightened and liberated, you can be not angry at these people. You understand what it is they're doing, why they're doing it, but you just, it's all a play. Once you get to the highest level, then the divine can work through your individuated unit of consciousness and have effects in the world. And you will gain insights and knowledge that you were never trained in from the outside. It just shows up. This is the truth of these practices and these esoteric traditions that have been handed down from master to disciple for thousands of years. It's not a joke. So I'm of the Western Church of Sanatana Dharma. I am not a Hindu.
That's the big man calling.
Somebody. NSA.
The golden telephone.
Yeah, really. But that's our thing. Get people practicing. Once people start practicing, they will find the value rather quickly.
Well, I've got to say, I'm one of these people. I'm one of these people that say I can't meditate, but I'll be completely honest with you and tell you that I haven't tried. So I'm going to start trying. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
do the mantra, blue-green.
Because that's two separate things. There's a practice of meditation, which is sit down, turn everything off, close your eyes.
That's the one I'm going to do.
The mantra. Okay? That's very difficult for a lot of people, and that's fine. But what you can do is called japa, which is the repetition of the mantra while you're doing anything else. While you're in the shower, while you're driving, while you're on a bus, on a train, doing your job, making love, whatever. Doing this japa, if you've seen like Dr. Emoto's work with water, okay, what you are doing when you are doing this Om Namah Shivaya, you are taking control of the vibratory frequency emanating from you into the world. When you follow this, when you just ride that vibration, it will carry your awareness outside of time and space.
Swami,
it's very natural. It's easy. Yes.
Sorry, I'm not familiar with. I haven't heard you do the mantra, but is it Om Namah Shivaya Vasa Vasa Shivaya?
No, just Om Namah Shivaya.
Yeah. Okay, I've had a different one. Yeah.
That's it.
That's
very simple. It's brilliant. It's very effective.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Right. I used to go and...
You just do it any way that's comfortable for you. If you want to make a little song out of it, or you've heard it put to music and you like that, do that. It really doesn't matter.
I usually do that when I'm just before I roll a spliff to bless it.
Hang on just a second.
I do.
No, I'm sorry.
You're supposed to bless a chillum, aren't you, when you smoke it?
It's a healing. It's a healing mantra as well.
No, I haven't heard from her at all today.
And she was
All right.
Ah, yeah.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. Are you having cross conversations here?
On the phone.
Oh, right.
On the phone.
On the Type1 phone.
Well, we are all on the Type1 telephone. When are we going to get Chiakaku on?
Well, Caroline's kind of a...
We don't need Caroline, we can just call him ourselves, can't we?
Well,
I just said that earlier because Carolyn had kind of been talking to him, I guess, and so I mean she's already kind of in contact with him, and she had contemplated getting him on the show, but she was afraid, you know, the smoke weed button or something would get pressed.
Who are we talking about?
Michio Kaku.
All right, okay.
Well,
We could just not put the press the smoke weed.
Yeah, that would be best.
until the end. Hey, Michi, listen to this. Yeah.
But anyway, no, I was going to mention
Black hole,
also.
mate?
Huh?
Go on, reset, sorry.
Oh no, I was going to just also mention that I've been talking to Leonardo from Maniac Agenda about getting those guys on, and I know I'd maybe mentioned that to Steve, either you or Sonic, one of the two of you, at some point. But yeah, he got back to me and said, oh yeah, I don't know, I guess just determine when works for you guys, and we'll try and make it work for them.
Okay.
So yeah, if they'd like to
Anytime you
come on
like,
the show.
Just call in.
How about tomorrow? Next week.
Well, I think we were going to maybe try and do it on the regular Saturday show or something, but like I said, I mean, if they needed to do it another day, I mean, we could always do that.
No, let's do it next week. Oh, who have we got next week?
Roger Hayes and the Maniac Agenda.
Oh, what a double act. Where else are you going to find that kind of entertainment? Infotainment, yeah. I mean, what a great radio. I mean, Swami on Fridays, on Saturdays, better. And when is Involved Observers? Tuesdays?
Well, he's just turned up on the night there. I reckon give him a call.
Give him a call right now?
Yeah.
Add him to conversation.
George LeBono was really cool on the show on Thursday. Talking about the alien minds.
Well, that's what Brandon is an alien mind, isn't he? He's a
reptile.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if he'll answer. Hello? Not yet.
We're just
Alan.
calling.
Did you miss Brett? I can't believe you were smoking cigarettes for the whole time Brett was with us.
Yeah, you missed Brett.
Hey, your man!
I heard him.
It was great to hear from him.
Yeah,
it was. It truly was.
It's like a Type1 lounge.
Yeah.
Everyone just turned up.
It has, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's not a reunion. It's just a meeting again, isn't it?
Everyone comes into the Bong.
It's like Swami said. You don't learn anything. You just remember it.
No, we've actually got quite a lot of
So-
guests to bring on for the future, but it's just getting the time to fit them all in, like David Cowan we want to bring on,
Yeah.
that Earth Energy.
Well, Brandon's not answering the phone, by the way.
And with Judy we want to bring on again at some point, don't we?
Well, John Hutchison.
John Barton.
Can I say something about that? This is just something, I don't know if I'm going to get this together, but you know, I listen to a lot of radio, and some people are absolutely amazing. I think Judy's one of them. And Maurice Cotterell, who lives in Ireland, he's kind of another one. And it's just some vague idea I've got, right, that it comes from this thing on Radio 4 where what they do is they get one comedian to ask another comedian questions. It's like a chain.
I know.
And I thought what might be a great idea is to try and, I don't know if these people are, you know, they write books and to an extent they're famous, but what might be a brilliant idea is to get, like for example, Maurice Cottrell, or to get somebody, you know, to get one of them to make 4 questions up to ask the next one or something like that.
Yeah.
And but something, you know, and
did you never hear Judy Wood talking to Freeman?
I don't know if I did.
That was very. I suggest you look that out.
Where would I find it?
On Type1 Radio Lounge. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
I'll find the link and send it to you.
Yeah, please.
Up on the
If you go to the event pages, go to on friendshipagenda.com.
Yeah.
You go to the past events, It'll be there, won't it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's special though.
Cool. Because sometimes I think that, each time someone goes on the radio show, they kind of, there's a certain kind of format, isn't there? There's kind
They've got a spiel.
Tell us how you get into this, and a lot of times you just think, no, get to the good stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Judy's got some really amazing things, and you just think, oh, ask her about that, It's just like, I still haven't seen that book, but is she coming back on then, did you say?
Yeah, we'll get her back on again because she's actually talking about some great new stuff. Not new, but expanded.
Yeah,
stuff.
she's right. But did you hear Jan, what was his name, Jan?
Yannick Van Dorn.
Yannick Van Dorn from not the last week's festival, but the festival before that Sonic was at?
Eternal Knowledge.
He has got some info which was just...
Well, he just slipped in a little bit of info about a friend of his that was in the military and told him about an aeroplane that can fly over buildings, take an analysis of the molecular structure, and then another aeroplane flies in and demolecularizes that molecular structure.
Justifies the building.
Justifies the building, yeah.
And we told him about Judy Wood, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know about her." So we were like, "You two must get together."
Oh, it was Hutchison in you though? It was John Hutchison.
Yeah. Work, and he was very impressed with that. Yeah.
So he didn't know Judy's work, but he said.
No.
We were at a party that night and we came home and listened because it was like the show was archived by the time we got home,
tried to listen to
and we downloaded it and listened to it. No, we listened to it right away, didn't we? When we downloaded it.
Well, it was about an hour later. Yeah.
And it was like, hey.
Yeah.
Parents looked at each other and went, fuck, no way.
Yeah, some interesting stuff.
Can I ask again? So I'm on the friendship agenda and I'm looking at events. So what am I looking for?
Go to past events, and it'll be from last.
What's from the first? It's from the second instance, isn't it? Of
Was it when she was here? Or
it was the midweek. It was the midweek one, yeah.
It might be on the Where Did the Towers Go, if it's not in the past event.
All right, well, I'll look out anyway. Thanks a lot, Nick. Cheers.
Basically, Freeman just came on at the beginning and...
Blew her mind. Well, not blew her mind, but...
Confused her.
She was...
He was putting out ideas which were quite the giant squid thing. Honestly, it was like free energy J on fucking overdrive.
What was the giant squid?
She says, "This is spoof." It was a giant, some kind of giant squid, and yeah, I'm going to have to listen to it now again because it was great. But the thing is, somebody phoned his show one day. The Free Zone, and was going on about this guy in, I think it was Seattle or something like that, where this guy's research was to do with this squid sort of thing, and he's going, oh yeah, I was on the Type 1 radio line talking about that to Judy Wood once. Fucking hell.
Very cool.
So yeah.
You didn't know what
Is it from the 17th of November? Is it? Like
Yeah,
right. Excellent. Bookmark. Okay, cool.
It was
that might be when she was here, though, was it?
No.
October she was
It's in October, yeah. It was the midweek. It was the midweek one with...
I mean, consider it, we'd only been going a month, and we got Judy Wood on.
Well, we only did that show because Caroline was pissed off that she never got to speak to her on the live show that she did with us.
Oh, yeah.
Because she actually did a live broadcast with us in the lounge right here.
Yeah.
And it was, that was quite something.
Yeah, there was a lot of people here that night, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was as well.
It was. We had a house full,
It was in front of a live studio audience. So yeah, I thought that was a roaring success of a show tonight.
Yes, I thought that was a great idea, Blue Green, actually getting used.
Yeah.
I just think it makes us all a little bit more confident, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's all it takes, because I was pretty quiet and my mic was acting up anyway, but I kind of just feel better if, interject.
It definitely helps to have Swami and Freeman and Frater around though.
Yeah, obviously.
Up a good 3/4 of the hour and then Fraser and Shwami and everything.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And I can't believe he's actually sent us the right videos that are going to work in this country, so
I know. Yeah, that was excellent.
good news.
Freeman sent us these videos and he put little messages on them to us, and it was so sweet. It was lovely.
I hope you turn a few folk on at that festival. I think that'll be great.
Yeah. Well, it'll be good if it rains. Unfortunately.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
These things are just good for meeting up with people as well, you know.
I'll probably end up, it's just getting like pissed and sitting on the road. Because no doubt it'll be the hottest day that we have. But
There's some people there I want to go and see as well. Some artists that I want to go and check out. So,
such as?
Well, Katie Thompson.
That groundbreaking fucking experiment. The Jim Jones review, you heard of them?
Not groundbreaking or experimental, but
I'm joking. The Jim Jones review, have you heard of them?
No.
They're like a rhythm, they're like a Dr. Feelgood rhythm and blues sort of, but they just go mental. They don't release any records, they just go mad and play like 4-hour sets without stopping. Ramon style sort of thing, so I'd quite like to see
I haven't even looked it up, so I'll look that up.
Yeah, the Secret Garden.
Sounds a bit kind of alternative then.
No, it's kind of mainstream, but it's kind of exclusive. They don't sell that many. Well, they sell, enough tickets.
They have to be quick for tickets.
But they don't let any. It's one of these big walled places. They don't let anyone in, so there's room and all that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So it should be.
It's quite a trippy kind of festival as well.
There'll be loads of people doing balloons.
Yeah, people doing
God.
balloons. Have you heard about the balloons thing that goes on at the moment?
No.
It's nitrous oxide, basically. And it's.
All right.
It's fucking headache in a balloon, basically. And you sit with stuff and laugh for like 10 minutes in of a headache for about 4 hours.
Like nitrous, that's like blue velvet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now it's dark.
Fucking in beer.
Yeah. They're just gassing the kids.
Yeah. I saw that GFT. I saw that Blue Velvet.
It's a good film. It's effective.
Great film. Yeah. All Lynch's films from that era are brilliant. I mean, what you know now, sort of thing. And you look at something like or Twin Peaks or something like that. It's like The Lodge and all that. You're like, what?
Oh my God, Twin Peaks.
I was kind of homeless couch surfing when Two Peaks was on, so I never got to see it.
I know.
Bits of it, I knew it was massive, but I'm quite like, all of these songs are pretty good, but I really like Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive's a great film, yeah.
You're like, what the fuck is all that about, but it is just like the
it's only good when it's finished though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Well, I just love his, like he does those things where he gets like somebody to sing a song and it's just like, wow, it's the maddest sound I've ever heard.
Yeah. The red lipstick girls with the strobe lights going off and all that.
Those are the ones, yeah.
David Lynch.
All right, yeah.
Mulholland Drive.
Yeah, that's crazy film.
I once met not Sheridan Fenn. Laura Palmer.
The one that played Laura Palmer.
Laura Palmer.
Cheryl Lee.
Cheryl Lee?
Yeah, Cheryl Lee.
Yeah, I once met her. And with...
My chick was in Backbeat. It was a film Backbeat.
I was in a film.
Were you?
She screamed in for 5 seconds.
And
did you make the call?
No, I did. Yeah, I did.
It was a big screen. Like, hey, that's it.
Yeah, I was on the Glastonbury Festival. But she, I was talking to her about the kind of undercurrents of Twin Peaks and all that, and about the child abuse issues that were kind of...
Well, the film Fire Walk Me is really...
undercurrents going on there, and she was like, oh my God, you are so right. Oh my God. Oh,
like it just occurred to her.
Yeah. She was...
While she was playing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, she was playing...
She was playing the German Astrid.
She's American, an American...
What was it? She played Astrid, thingy, she was Stuart Sutcliffe's lover.
Astrid, yeah.
Astrid in Berlin, sort of thing. Was it?
Cut
no, we
done the haircut. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she said, we must talk about this more, but she never did.
Straight after shouting security.
Right.
Did you meet Stephen Dorff then?
I met Stephen Dorff, yeah.
Because he was the bass player, wasn't he?
Yeah. He was nice.
His Scouse accent was rubbish though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bit Dick Van Dykish.
Yeah.
What Dick
Very
Van
short. Yeah, very short. They were all very small.
Stephen Dorff, what about him?
That piece for you, though.
And that, yeah. She was small and he was small. They were like little kind of small people.
Well, if they were tall, they'd be basketball players or sports stars, wouldn't they? We'd have to probably.
They'd get a different scholarship.
Yeah, more than likely, yeah. I think, yeah, they just sort of, I don't know, I'm not going to go on. I've done too much already.
Yeah.
So, I won't go too on. But it was interesting anyway, meeting them and talking to them.
Cool.
Good, yeah. Beatles, what a cultural icon.
I don't do the Beatles at all, I'm sorry. You know, George Harrison, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago, George Harrison's about the only one I would save from the fire, you know.
Yeah, they're not really on my playlist either, really.
I just remember like the Beatles, like, you know, caravan holidays with your mum and dad, and I just hated everything to do with that, you know, and that was unreasonable. You know what I mean? Running the opposite way.
You lucky bastard having caravan holidays.
You think?
How cool we were and we can even have them. Joking. The Beatles are funny though. The old Heather down here's got a story to tell apparently, hasn't she?
Yeah.
About Paul let it slip one night that he wasn't really Paul.
Yeah.
Oh, he died, didn't he?
Oh.
Paul, yeah.
Yeah, that was quite strange, isn't it? That no one would believe what she would say if she came out with it. That seems quite sinister, doesn't it?
What was she saying? That it wasn't him?
No, she was
She was alluding.
She was alluding to that she had a secret.
All that stuff about Abbey Road, the cover of Abbey Road, where he's got no shoes on, and that's meant.
Well, the best ones, the Rubber Soul album, where they're all Paul apparently is looking out the grave at the other four.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard that one.
And Paul Galley's looking up into the distance, not looking down.
See, that proves it's right.
See, he was acting Martin before.
Yeah.
What, before Obama was?
So Williams the Turin?
Williams the Turin. Oh, Freeman's fucking done it again, hasn't he? He's great, isn't he? I bet DNA they scraped off a dish towel and made William out of
a forgery by Da Vinci or
like
something.
some Rothschild blood and put it in a syringe and then made a picture of like Jesus from it and then sort of scrunched it all up and aged it with a bit of tea or
See,
something.
that's the lengths these people will go to control you. But we've got Freeman.
Because all they have is built on lies.
Exactly, Swami, exactly, yeah.
It is lies and manipulation of your perception that allows them any power at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? They can have it. Let William be the king of humanity. He'll be my king.
No, he's not my king. They can believe he's their king, but he ain't my king. He's a fucking idiot. Yeah, no. Talking about perception as well, there was a story in the news this week as well.
Oh, is this a news bong?
Bong.
Hang on.
That somebody was speaking to me about, and they were bringing this story to me in a kind of as if like they were shocked about it, and they were saying that there was a woman who she lost a child in birth, which is very sad, obviously, and but afterwards she discovered on Facebook a site called 6 Jokes, and they had 6 jokes on this site about dead children, and so she went on this site and saw these jokes about 6 dead children, or about dead children, 6 jokes about dead children, that's what it was, and of course she was very offended, and I just thought, well, you've just child die on you, and you're looking at a site called jokes about sick jokes about dead children. Well, how sick does that make you, for a start, going onto a site like that? But then she starts going, oh, these are really terrible, offensive jokes to me. Well, duh, of course they're going to be fucking, of course they're going to, excuse my language, of course they're going to be offensive to you.
See on this channel.
It just seems a completely ridiculous story. And the person that was bringing this story to me was kind of saying, as if like, oh, this woman found this site, and isn't that terrible, and isn't this awful? And I thought, well, no, the awful thing is that she's even bothered to even look at a site like that, because of course, I mean, it's free speech. You could, you know, one person's funny comment is another person's sick joke, and all right, there can be very sick jokes, and there can just be things that are a little bit, you know,
off color, yeah.
Yeah, somebody might find funny, but that another person might find a bit offensive. And it's very difficult to draw a boundary there and to say, right, well, the line stops here or there. So I just felt like this item, that this news story was another one of those stories that was, again, trying to influence people's opinions, and or not trying to influence, but trying to bring out the reaction. You know, the first reaction, oh my God, isn't that terrible?
Something must be done.
Something must be done, yeah. And it like you say, it's that kind of manipulation of the spirits, because they know how to push our buttons. And my friend's buttons were very much being pushed by this. And it wasn't until I spoke to her and sort of said, well, you know, we have to have free speech. We can't say that that's good and that's bad, and well, we put a line here and a line there. You just have to have free speech about these things.
Just don't look at it.
Yeah, just why did you even go on that site, woman? If you just lost a child and you're going onto a site that says sick jokes about dead kids, that says more about her than it does about the people that are laughing at these jokes, I think. You know, so that's my little bong.
Latest lesson figured then. Wow. 47.
Well, this woman obviously has a psychological tendency to be masochistic.
Yeah, to hurt herself.
To her own self.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
It's curiosity and fascination again.
She would be looking at sites that said how to mend yourself after the loss of a child, or, you know, she would be looking at sites like this if she wanted to use the internet to benefit her psyche in some way. She wouldn't be looking at things that, you know, were, as I've
that she's going to be hypersensitive to.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, and that are obviously going to enrage her, you know, it's
well, you think she'd be grieving?
Yeah.
Instead of being on the internet.
Yeah. I can't imagine why.
Maybe she was going for like the shock tactics and just getting it right out of her system by laughing at it. Not how I'd go about it, but well, floats your boat.
Not one kind of accident if that kind of thing happens, no. But
got to think outside the box.
It's rather a sick way of counselling yourself if you think that looking at sites like that after that's happened to you is going to make you feel any better. It's, and shouting at people that annoy you in that way that actually aren't even there.
Well, it's externalising something, really, isn't it? It's kind of like an imitation of feeling upset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could see it in one point that maybe that was therapeutic to kind of go through the motions of, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people are really disconnected. I think this sounds quite off subject, but I don't think it is. It's like sometimes you see people going down the street and they look hideous. They look like they've got dressed in the dark. And I said to like a girl friend of mine, like, does she think she looks good in that? And you know, she doesn't even get that far with her thought. There's just a disconnect. She doesn't look in the mirror and think anything. It's just like do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a whole thought. It doesn't get from start to finish. It just gets as far as I like this outfit or something.
Yeah,
You know?
and I think in some way as well, with someone like that, that's actually going to a site like that and making themselves more angry about the situation, it's almost because they're not actually in a position where they can actually accept what's happening to them.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're actually trying to find things which will make them feel a bit stronger about the situation.
Yeah.
So they can lash out at it and feel
so they
righteous.
so they can act out the action that they think they should be acting out, the outrage they feel they should be thinking, because actually maybe, I don't know the situation, maybe she actually felt relief that the child had, died, I don't know, I'm not making a judgment about it, or maybe she felt that she should feel more guilty about it because in some way, and she felt like, well, I'm not, like some women have children and they're like, well, I didn't love my child when it was born, or things like this, you just don't know the scenarios that people maybe are going through in their minds, and I just feel like...
Do you think she was trying to expose the sick joke site as a sort of, as a crusading sort of thing?
In psychology, that's called transference, isn't it? It's, you're transferring something and you're abdicating from responsibility.
Yeah.
You're kind of...
maybe, I don't know, I can't say, but I
blame somewhere else.
But isn't that like what when Swami's talking about the archons? I mean, the little that I've heard about them is that they're trying, in some sense, they want to replace the whole of reality with an imitation of reality and a bad one, and so you're completely controlled because you're watching their version of reality and you're not actually in your own, in the real world.
Well, it filmed Earth 2.0 in right at the end of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, didn't he?
Earth 2.0, what the second blueprint?
Yeah.
What's the relevance of that?
Well, the Archon's making a...
the Archon's making making a new of the Earth, which is non-organic.
Yeah. And I suppose that's what the body patches is about.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's all there. It's all in film and synchromysticism.
The thing is, talking about the Beatles earlier, John Lennon said, I am you and you are me and we are all together. So the Archons are us. We are part of the Archons. So they affect us for our ego structures. The things that make up our psychology and the things that we attach our focus to, which we become fascinated with and we identify with, and that's how they take the energy. But they are part of us. They are they're a macrocosmic part of our microcosmic self. So it's we have all this detachedness from these interdimensional beings that we think of.
So we are bound to self-destruct.
We're all part of the big picture, and this,
Does that aid to our self-destruction though? What Swami's saying about sexual energy being taken away from us, and
that's a big secret. That's a big.
Well, that's what you're saying, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Ultimately,
They are